What's going on, guys? This episode is brought to you by Ice Shaker, and I'm going to take a minute and show you some of the new stuff that they have been working on, like this awesome packaging. New packaging tells you all you need to know and shows you exactly what you're buying. Do a little bit of an unboxing here. I'll show you the Ice Shaker that you all love. What they've done is added a new silicone bottom so that when you put it down on your desk or something like that, you're not going to ruin your desk. The second thing they've done is add a clip to the lid so that when you're drinking, it doesn't swing shut on you. You can hear that locks open. So now you can turn it and the lid won't shut. Very nice feature. The other thing they've done is add a new shaker altogether. This royal blue color is new, and they've also added a straw. So this is not, there's no agitator in here. It's not for powders. It's more for like Gatorade, water, something you want to keep cold for a really long time. And they can also customize it like this for you too. Let me show you guys the website. If you go to iceshaker.com/RBP, you can check out all the stuff they got, get 20% off on your order. Jugs are back in stock, these 1 gallon jugs that you guys love. And also the cooler bags, I've gotten a bunch of messages about that people love as well. Very, very high quality. So go to iceshaker.com/RBP to get 20% off, or plug in code RBP at checkout to get the 20% off. Thanks, guys. What's going on, Ian?
How much, you?
How are your tax-free shirts selling?
They're all gone.
Did you get a lot of gay people buy them?
Well, I don't know if they're gay, but they might be gay. They're only gay if they're gay. You have to ask them.
I wonder if that's a hit with the gay crowd or if it's offensive to the gay crowd.
I don't know. I mean, it's not insulting the gay crowd in any way. It's like, it's only gay if you're gay, and if they're gay, then they're gay, you know?
Yeah. I still don't agree with you, but I also saw in your Q&A that you said that I was the most frustrating person on the podcast for you. Can you explain, elaborate on that?
Well, if you're not, who is?
Well, I have to be the agitator.
No, I know, but I was asked a question, I had to answer it, and I mean, that's the only logical answer. Especially after last week, you know? Nothing
happened last week. We did a 35-minute podcast and we posted it.
Yeah, that's it. After that 35-minute podcast, you know,
it wore you out. I do tend to argue more with everybody than anybody else.
I'm not saying that you
but that's my job.
I'm just saying, if I have to pick someone, you're certainly the candidate, you know?
Well, listen, I have to argue with everybody because it wouldn't be fun if we all just agreed all the time.
Well, of course, I completely agree with that.
But I think I do.
I argue with everyone more than anyone, you know?
I think I do challenge you more than anybody else, though.
Me and Ben, yeah.
Most of the guys just go along with you.
I think Ben and you argue probably more than me, but you and Ben, like, it's I don't know.
But Ben has admitted to me that he is purposely an agitator. Like,
yes.
He just likes to get under people's skin.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought since we were early, we had a ton of questions. I wanted to burn through some of these.
Sure.
Want to do that?
Yep.
Okay, I think we have like 400 questions. So
great.
While we wait for everybody. All right. That one's for me. Are we going to see the boys in Canada now that our vaccine shit for travel is gone as of September 30th? Yeah, did you hear about that?
That it's gone? Yes, I did.
Canada doesn't have any more travel restrictions. We're the last country on earth, I think, to get with the program.
I know. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, do you think we should do some Canadian shit now?
Sure, yeah.
You can guest pose at my show now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Canada right now. I mean, I'm sure a lot of places would love to have us out, you know?
Yeah. We could. I know the guys out in Vancouver, Corey
Swergos, yeah.
You know Corey, right?
Yeah. I guess did a seminar for him once.
Yeah, Corey said he wanted to. I did a seminar for him last year, and he said he would love to have us out for an event out in BC. We should do that. That'd be fun.
Great.
Oh, yeah. No, wait. Nick doesn't have a passport.
Well, we have till next year. He can get a passport.
Yeah, I guess no one's going to travel until fucking January.
Anyway. Go up and be a big boy and get a passport eventually, you know?
I told him that. I said, dude, your goal is to win the Olympia. You can't not have a passport. You literally have to travel everywhere.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, yes, we're going to do something in Canada.
You just got to finagle into his contract that he has to do one international like guest appearance a year, so that it like forces him to get a passport. Like, you either get a passport, I'm dropping you. It's the end of discussion. You know,
I don't think I have to even do that. Nick knows, you know, from watching all the previous Mr. Olympias, you have to travel all over the world if you're going to be a Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
The next question is, have you ever been muralized on a wall?
Yes, I have actually.
Where?
In Colombia. There was a gym. There was a big picture. The gym was related to A&S at the time, and they made a huge picture that was like a full-size mural on a wall. I might have the picture somewhere, but
I think I know I've seen a couple before, but I'm just going to show this real quick. My internet's fucking really slow today. So Chase Irons opened a gym.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he posted it or just sent stories. He just opened a gym and he put some really cool murals all over the wall. I guess I don't know if it's in here.
Let's see if I can find my.
Oh, gym build. Here we go. Yeah, I just want to show this because I was actually really thankful. Ben, what's going on?
Yeah, sorry.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. So, we're starting right at the start. So let's skip through. Oh, there's some shit. Let's go back. So you got Jay.
Oh, I saw this actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Jay.
Oh, yeah, it's this.
And then that's me and Luke there.
Yeah.
And then they got Chris, Arnold, Flex Wheeler. I don't know. I don't really see me and Luke fitting in with the rest of those guys, but or at least me anyway. But I'll take it.
Take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You see, that's a full-size wall. That's a top to bottom wall there.
1 second. Holy, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
There's like a ton of detail in there.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Ben, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
I decided to start the podcast with questions this time so we don't ignore everybody.
Get derailed, yeah. Yeah.
You're looking lean. You're looking leaner. Have you lost more weight?
No, I'm too sick. I had a weekend off.
So your face is fuller.
I'm a little fatter. Yeah.
Are you before we come on with the questions, are you still cycling or did you decide you want like bodybuilding more?
Are we talking about steroids or a bicycle?
No, I didn't. I didn't mean that kind of cycling. I meant cycling.
Be careful on a bodybuilding.
I know, you're right. I meant bicycling. Sorry.
Well, but people have been asking both questions, so I can probably answer both anyway. The cycling got put on hold because we were traveling, and then I'm having this dilemma at the minute. Not dilemma. I have Dean coming here.
Yeah.
8 weeks out from the Olympia, so I'm his training partner, and I can't be dicking around on a fucking bike while I'm trying to help push him. So
that's right.
Cycle onto another, you know.
Sorry.
I said off one cycle onto another.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, so I basically just got back into training with Denise. Just started pushing some harder sets again and eating a bit more food. My kidneys came back pretty much bang on for the first time in like 5 years.
That's great.
So I haven't done anything except for just increase my protein back up, and I'm allowing my food to creep up, and that's all. So
that's awesome. Justin, what's going on? How are you? Are you audio hooked up or what? Are you there?
Got it.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, he's there.
You can't hear me?
Well, you're just very quiet. You're your voice is very calm.
I'm here.
It's our video now.
We're talking about Ben cycling, not cycling.
I've been noticing you've been growing, Ben. It looks like you've been cycling.
Have you been?
I told you had to clarify.
I know. That's what.
Dealing with a bunch of fucking meatheads here.
You're definitely bigger, though.
Yeah. I'm 260.
He's talking about bicycling.
Okay, cycling.
I'm lighter than you now. I'm 259 this morning.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I was 261 this morning.
I've dropped 7 pounds in a week.
Nice.
That's just by a simple elimination diet.
You guys made fun of me. You guys made fun of me so bad last week. I was like, you know what? Fuck, I'm going to show those motherfuckers.
Wait, no one knows
who I really am.
No one knows we made fun of you.
Well, privately, you guys did on the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay, that too.
So I decided.
Well, it's called negative encouragement.
That's right. See, Justin, you're fucking right. That's what I needed.
I'm learning.
Somebody I needed somebody to shit on me completely and remind me that I should have some discipline. And now I'm back. So anyway, so Ben, you got to train Dean, and you're going to be training with Hunter too, right?
Well, I don't know how much involvement I'm going to have in terms of Hunter and his actual training. We'll be in the same gym at the same time. I don't know whether I'm going to leave their training dynamic alone or whether we'll jump in. They have slightly different training styles. Whilst I like progressive overload, I don't force it upon all of my athletes if it's not the right system for them. So Dean is a much more higher volume kind of guy.
Yeah. So Dean and Hunter trains more with a low volume, right?
Yeah.
So Dean and Hunter would have
one set on an exercise, and if he's got everything he needs out of it, he'll move on. Whereas with Dean, it's a bit more classical approach, I guess you could say. Because
I thought, and forgive me if this is not supposed to be something you want to talk about, but I thought you were going down there to train with him, or you're just going down there to keep an eye on him.
Both. Train web more like help him train rather than train with him. But with Dean, I'll be training with Dean.
How long is Dean staying?
We haven't locked that in yet. He needs to book his flights, but we're waiting until Monday after the Arnold's to decide when a good time frame to come out is.
I know, but is he staying all the way? If for those of you who don't know who we're talking about Dean White. He's a 212 competitor, qualified for the Olympia. You're all going to know who he is very soon if you don't yet. Anyway, so is he going to stay all the way to the Olympia, or
once he's here? Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll fly to mine. We'll spend maybe a week or two here at mine. And then we'll head down. I'm going to rent a house down in Houston, somewhere near the gym, set up base there. And that's what I'll decide whether we do 5 or 6 weeks, maybe head down there. Then I'll camp down there the whole time. And then we'll fly up direct from Houston to Vegas.
When are you going to Vegas?
I don't know exactly. It'll either be the Saturday or Sunday, I guess. You're out there pretty early, right?
Yeah, Patrick was going on the 5th, like 2 weeks early. So I was like, well, you're going on the 5th. I'm going on the 5th.
Yeah, he texted me that, and I was like, damn, I don't think I can get the guys to kind of come up that early because I wanted to go see him.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I haven't even done a show in person with him yet. So if he's going to come up that early, I'm going to relish every single second I have with him. So I'll fly out whenever he's out there.
And it'll be dead for like those 10 days before as well.
I didn't even think of that. You said how much better. When I was working with Chad, I found that it almost worked better when I wasn't with the coach. But then when I worked with Hani, like I found the time he was there with me was my best look ever.
Yeah.
So
we'll find out in December.
Are you excited? Yeah. Are you excited? Do you think he's going to be able to peak you like better than you have before?
Yes. Well, there's 2 things to add to this. So one, my friend Julian has been there almost every show recently when I've been with Patrick. So he'll also be there. So you have someone that's seen me in person to kind of say to Patrick, no, this is normal. This is not. This is what it usually looks like IRL versus,
Yeah.
So you have that to kind of guide along with Patrick being able to see actual changes in person and see the fullness and dryness in reality, not in photos, right? Yeah. Especially for us Taylor guys, we don't translate the same in photos. So I think it'll definitely be to my advantage. Absolutely. Especially with it's 2 weeks, like especially the first week, like we're not doing anything crazy. You can just see me, see my body, see how I'm responding to training that last week, see all those responses. And then we have at least a week's worth of data built together before we go into that final week.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
So I don't think it'll be a detriment by any means.
No. I definitely don't think it'll hurt. So Ben, I want to ask you about Dean. How's he feeling for the Arnold UK 2 days from now?
Pretty good. We started loading him. We did a slightly different approach this time to Portugal. I mean, Portugal was so fucking wild because it was 2 shows back to back. Saturday evening, Sunday morning. It was all just, we had to make weight on the Thursday, then again on the Saturday after the show. So that was fucking mayhem. This one, we pushed him until about Monday, Tuesday, and then I gave him a kind of a medium carb day yesterday, and then he actually took to it pretty well. So we bumped it up again a touch more, and we're just playing with the fullness. But I'd like to have him maybe not as. I'm erring on the side of being a touch sharper if I can this show than Portugal. I was pretty confident, so we went blasting fucking full.
Yeah.
This one I want him a bit crisper, but he did get sick. Fuck it, he got sick about a week ago, so we've had a few things to deal with. So,
do you know? Is there anybody like outstanding doing the Arnold UK, like Ole or Angel Calderon, or like?
I'll be honest with you. I stopped looking.
Yeah.
Because everyone looks phenomenal on Instagram. Everyone posts the good shit on Instagram. And then if I'm being completely blunt and honest, we're all human. I start getting influenced by it, and then I start chasing him to be better than, because I think, he's not going to be. So I start chasing unicorns. And so I stopped doing that a while back. If I've got a guy and
Sorry, Ben, do you think that's like an experience thing? Like, you know, because you've just started training these really high level athletes like a couple of years ago now. So do you think it's an experience thing where maybe 5 years from now you won't give a fuck how anybody looks on Instagram?
I honestly think even the top level guys still have that at times, man.
No. Yeah. So, okay, wait, that's interesting. So, Iain, you think like if Chris Aceto or Hani or Chad or something sees somebody else, you think it influences their coaching on their athlete?
I think it may diminish, but I think we're, like Ben said, we're all human, and you're gonna see things and say, okay, this guy's really sharp. I need to push the condition maybe a little more. Or this guy's fucking full as a house. We need to be a little fuller to beat this guy, you know? I think when you know your competition, you see what you're up against, it's always going to have some kind of slight influence of you wanting to one-up them in that aspect, right?
Well, the only reason I thought maybe it wouldn't is somebody may be sharper, say like 8 weeks out, but you may have a plan for your athlete to bring them in slower. So it's like, it's not always going to translate like, oh, that guy's ready at 8 weeks, I better push my client harder, because you may have a different plan.
We're 2 days out now. So it's like, now you'd be seeing reality of, you know?
Yeah. Did you ever do that with Chris? Like, were you ever watching other guys, or is Chris just like a different level? So you didn't?
No, and I'm also not like, I'm not a career coach, man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not like looking and comparing. Like, that's not my wheelhouse, you know? Like with Chris, it's like, I just looked at his pictures and I made the adjustments that, you know, that I thought I needed to make. It was no more thought than that. And also, yes, I was very confident every single time in Chris that he would 100% win the Olympia, you know?
Yeah. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
It's like, it goes in like a little wave. Like when I first started coaching, I never even cared. I didn't look. Then you start doing pro shows and you start looking, and then you recognize that actually that's not productive. It's really fucking stressful, in fact, for both you and the athlete. And it's normally the athlete at this point. Like Dean even texted me the list and he went, "Oh, number 1, 8, 11." Like, and I didn't even look. I just deleted. I'm not even fucking going through and looking. Whereas maybe a year ago I would have done.
It's funny he says this too, because I when you say it like a wave like that, I think bodybuilders themselves kind of go in that way as well. And not even with, you know, I think when I started bodybuilding and I was young and a little more naive, I guess, I really thought I could beat everyone. You know, I thought I didn't care what anyone else looked like. I just kind of did my thing. And then as you get, and there's more on the line, you get into more serious shows, you compete against better guys, you lose a couple shows. Then you start to care a little more. You start to overthink a little more. And then once you realize, like Ben said, over a while that you realize like, that's not fucking helping anything. You know, you kind of start to try and back off that a little bit. And it kind of just goes like, you know.
I can attest to that too. There's that goes for, I think that's just a maturity thing. I think that goes with like how smart you think you are as well. Like how much you know. Yeah. Because everybody, when they start bodybuilding, think you know everything. And then they're like, oh shit, I don't know anything. And then you reach a point where you're like kind of learning what you need to know, right? But I think it's the same thing when you're looking at competition. Because I think when I hit like 33, 34, I started to not give a fuck. I'm like, doesn't matter who's there. I'm just going to do my own thing.
I said that to Dean actually after he won Portugal, and he said, oh, let's do the Arnold. I mean, you were there when we've made that decision. And then he said, like, do you think we can win? And I said, like, I'm not going to say yes or no. The level is higher for him now. The competition is higher. But I said the only objective is to improve the look from Portugal, because as long as we do that, I feel pretty confident in where we're going to place. And if we don't, then you got beat by someone that was better. Because if we're better than Portugal and you don't win, I couldn't do like we can't do more than that right now. So fuck it.
I think that's the point. I think what you just said is the point I realized when I matured enough, like 32, 33. Like there's only so much you can do. If you're your best, like there's nothing else that matters on the exterior.
It's funny. I'll say this too. I mean, and I've got a lot of these questions and comments on my Q&As lately of people being like, are you worried about placing lower than 7th as you placed the last 2 years because the lineup is so good? Yeah. And I'm like, not at all. Like if I come in better than I ever have, it really doesn't matter after that. You know, like this is going to be one of the best Olympias I'll probably ever compete in my career. You know, so
he froze. He just logged off and logged back on. Go ahead.
So, I mean, the placing to me is very secondary to the look. And, you know, if I come in at my absolute best, I know I'm going to impress people either way. I don't think that the placing is as indicative of my progress and success, you know?
So let me ask you this, because I know how I feel about it, but just out of curiosity, Justin or Iain, since you guys are competing, if you did your absolute best and you didn't win, do you sleep at night thinking I did my absolute best, I didn't cut any corners, or do you sleep at night thinking, fuck, that was my absolute best and it wasn't good enough?
It depends. Usually I feel a lot more peace when the look is what I'm happy with over the placing. Like I know I've done well in shows or won shows even where I didn't really like the look and I didn't feel very great about it. You know, like even when I won New York Pro, like it was a good look, but I got kind of a bit of backlash from it and I didn't love my look. But I still won the New York Pro, but I wasn't really that satisfied with it because of the look. Where I've come, you know, 7th at the Olympia or 2nd at the Arnold, or, you know, even 2nd at smaller shows when I was younger. Or I mean, I came 4th at Vancouver Pro once in 2019 or 18, and I loved my look, but I came 4th, you know, and I slept great at night that night. I felt at peace. I felt very fulfilled. And that's kind of how I feel going into this Olympia. You know, I don't think I'll place lower than 7th, but if I was to, and my look was something I was very, very happy with, I don't think I would be upset about it now.
Justin, you think you kind of echo that, or do you have a different feeling about?
No, I completely agree. I think I'm also aware of where I'm at within like the lens of open bodybuilding, and I'm confident in my trajectory of where I'm heading. So I wouldn't beat myself up over, you know, not necessarily being where I need to be, because I know I can get there, if that makes sense.
So you think
and I don't know.
So in your situation, it's more of like, I know I'm still starting out my journey, so wherever I place isn't really relevant compared to where I'm going to be in 3 years or 2 years.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like coming into this competitive season, whatever show I do, I plan on winning. That's what I want to fucking do. But as long as I like nailed my look and it was the best I know I could be, and I didn't win, I would just understand more time. You know, I wouldn't necessarily, you know. Did I what? Is my internet just fucking terrible? Because I can barely.
Did you pay your cable at the office or no? Is your business doing that bad?
Oh, there he's gone.
Fuck.
Yeah. Do you know how frustrating it is?
Yeah, I know. That's okay. We can just make fun of him until he comes back. Are you there, Justin? Can you hear us?
Okay.
Oh,
sitting here, I'm so annoyed. Yeah, I can. Everything you guys are saying, I just can't see. Everyone's frozen, smiling at me like a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yeah, we're laughing at
you. All right. Well, we'll just get in and get out whenever you can, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Let's go back to some more of these questions. I'm trying to get through these questions. Sorry, Justin, you weren't here when I said it. I'm trying to get through a lot of these questions on this podcast.
Okay.
Instead of just ignoring everybody. How many hot dogs could you eat?
Makes sense.
How many hot dogs could you eat?
With buns or without buns?
Let's say a hot dog, like in a bun with condiments.
Yeah. Who eats hot dogs without buns?
Well, he said hot dogs, not hot dogs.
I'm saying 8 to 10.
You know,
Costco dogs?
Oh, those are good.
No, like a normal stand, not the big fuckers. Right?
Not a big sausage.
Yeah, like a regular hot dog.
Yeah, like an Oscar Mayer wiener.
I could do 10 for sure. I could do 10.
8 to 10 is my limit. I think.
I think I'm like probably 6.
Oscar Mayer.
What's in a pack? What's in a package? 8?
2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 8 to 12, 8 to 10.
I could definitely do 8 for sure.
With buns, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge eater. I'd probably be like 6 to 8 at most.
I saw a recent challenge that was 9 McDonald's cheeseburgers in 9 minutes.
That's tough.
Couldn't do that.
No way.
I think you'd get down the first like 2 or 3, maybe 4 pretty quick, and then you'd start to slow down. Like you'd probably get in 4 in like 3 or 4 minutes, and then you'd probably start to slow down pretty quick.
I'm tempted to try it.
Do it. Yeah,
I don't want to ruin my health.
Ruin all your progress.
Well, I thought if my one cheat meal a week was this challenge, then I'm not really ruining anything.
Are you gonna try and do? Why is it 9 in 9, not 10 in 10?
I don't know. That's what I saw. And then there's another one of $100 at McDonald's.
Oh, that would be hard
in like one sitting.
That would be almost impossible.
Yeah, I think I could do it.
No way.
No, man, that's like 15 to 20 items. That's a lot.
Ben can fucking do it. I've seen Ben eat.
Not now. My former fat self, yeah. when I was all pumped up for the juice I could eat, yeah.
I'd have to be like post show after like a really hard diet and super baked.
Yeah.
Justin, you think you do $100 worth of McDonald's?
Fuck no, not at all. I barely do like $25 at McDonald's.
Yeah, 25 is tough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like usually my order that I do is about like $22.
Yeah.
Why do people like watching these things?
Fun.
You know, I've seen what's that guy's channel? Beard versus Food or something like that. You ever seen that guy?
Watching quite a bit.
Beard meets food.
The British guy with the big beard, yeah. I watch him a lot.
Millions of views, just smashing fucking food.
We should do like a watch party of us eating. We should all get the same order and we could do it on here.
Well, fucking someone's always dieting. We should do a podcast with people that aren't dieting. So it'd be like
me,
you, Paul, Justin. Paul can't eat.
Jose and Guy.
Jose doesn't eat shit. Guy doesn't eat. Guy's is horrible appetite.
Post Olympia, we could just do it in person with all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. For sure.
Yes, we should do it in Vegas on the Monday.
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory. Yeah.
Huh?
Cheesecake Factory.
No, please no.
Okay,
I want to sit outside a fucking Cheesecake Factory in a car for another fucking hour.
All right. 5 dinner guests, dead or alive. Who is it?
Ugh. These questions.
Joe
We already
Rogan.
do this.
Joe Rogan.
The Rock.
The Rock. Justin knows.
Come on, dude.
Joe Rogan, The Rock, Mike Tyson,
Mm.
Dana White, and John F. Kennedy.
No females, you sexist bastard. Men only.
They're serving the food.
It's a good point.
That was good.
Is there a woman you'd want to invite to dinner that you don't want to sleep with, that you just want to talk to?
Oh, no.
You don't want to sleep.
Yeah, they're usually be.
Come on, Justin. Pay your fucking bill, dude.
I'm sorry, man.
All right.
Over this.
The hand stuck there too.
Okay.
Oh,
Is there a woman, before you answer the 5, is there a woman you'd want to invite to dinner?
Maybe
See,
like
now you guys are just as sexist.
No,
as I am.
listen. Well, someone like Joan of Arc or something like that would be pretty fucking interesting to, if she could converse the right way enough for you to understand.
I can't think of. This is really bad. This is like the women.
No. There is a lot of fucking women that would be
Name
very
one.
interesting.
Name one.
Joan of Arc. I just gave you one.
Okay, other than that one.
Or like Cleopatra or something, you know?
The Queen.
How about-
the Queen of England. Just
How about Helen Keller?
Yeah, but the Queen would suck. So
Who? I missed that. What did he say?
Helen Keller.
the Queen would be boring though, because she'd have very scripted answers.
Yeah.
No, because she's coming back, so she can just let loose for one night.
Oh, this is after she's
Drunk
passed.
Queen.
Yeah, this is like drunk Queenie.
Yeah.
Queen, yeah.
With a couple drinks and a couple lines of blow in her and just let
But
her
that's
go.
bad though. You see how fast I named like 5 dudes I'd sit with, and I couldn't I can't.
That's okay. I think if you had a group of 4 females on here, they'd probably be rattling off females. And then you'd ask them. Yeah, there you go.
What's Melissa say?
Ask Melissa.
She's like, don't ask me because I think she's going to name all men too.
No, ask her. Say she gets dinner with 5 people. Doesn't man or woman. Who would she sit with?
Can you think of anyone?
Why do I have to have dinner with somebody?
Well, it's hypothetical.
She just doesn't even want to go to dinner. Period. She's like, no, I'm
Yeah,
not
she's
going.
like, I don't want to go to
They're
dinner.
hungry.
Can you think of anyone? Any females you'd like to go to dinner with? Historical females?
Do they have to be historical?
No, they could be dead or alive, it says.
I like to go to dinner with Cardi B.
Did you hear
Cardi
that?
B.
That would be very
That would be
entertaining.
interesting.
Fucking fun.
That would be fun. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be interesting.
And like my grandpa who's passed away.
that's a man. Yeah.
But
Well,
like
that's the sentimental one. There you go. We could pick the sentimental ones.
Mhm.
I could pick 5 easily there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Ben, I picked my 5. Justin, since you're such a smartass, why don't you go next?
No,
I want to see how cool your 5 are, since you ripped on mine.
I'm with at
Why
least.
do you hate The Rock so much?
I don't hate The Rock. You just love The Rock. And I just knew you were going to go
I
for-
think he's an inspiring person.
Of course. Absolutely. Yes, he is.
Think about what he's done in his life. I want to talk to him about that shit.
You know what I've been watching lately? I get in this routine almost once a year of I get super, super fascinated with watching things about the really big, like the 8,000 meter peaks and stuff, like K2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I go on like a binge for like 2-3 months where I watch like every YouTube documentary about people that have climbed it and all the deaths on it and stuff. I'd really like to have dinner with someone that's like been part of like a crazy ass like K2 or like
somebody who died on there.
What about that niche guy, right?
What?
The guy that did 14 peaks.
Oh yeah, like someone like that for sure.
What about somebody that died on one of those things? Then you could be like,
that's what I'm saying. Or someone that was part of like someone that got stuck up on the mountain and like slowly died over 5 days on the mountain or something.
Okay, so Ian's got one. Justin, you still don't have one.
I said Helen Keller.
Okay, other than Helen Keller.
I don't know. I don't know.
Seriously, you don't, Ben? Anything? None of you guys have anybody you like admire?
Yeah, but they're all, aside from like the obvious ones.
Like who? Give me an obvious one.
Say like Rogan, Mike Tyson, those kinds of ones are like the
Dana White would actually, now that I thought of it, would probably be my first one.
Yeah.
I think
I'm bringing Luke back for a night.
We're not talking sentimental. Those are all obvious.
If it's someone that's going to like completely disclose anything, like when the Queen, you're like, it's going to be PC answers. But if they're not going to be that, I mean, any president I would like to fuck.
Well, that's why
Donald Trump would probably be a pretty fun dinner.
Yeah, or like Trump
would be a good one.
And just be like, yo, what's going on there that we don't know about? You know, like
you could have
one details, like give me it all, you know?
You could have Elon Musk and Donald Trump sit
down. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I can tell you a lot.
What? That's a bad impression. Donald Trump's a hard one. No fuck with that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Stick to the Mexicans.
Okay.
That's why I said JFK, because I'd be like, what happened, dude? Tell me like the last week. Who'd you piss off?
Yeah.
Who didn't he piss off in the end?
Yeah, because he certainly knows who killed him, you know?
I think he does. I think he knows he knows who he was fucking with.
Yeah.
All right. So nobody gave 5 except me.
That's good. We got a good melodics there.
And there's 5 between all of us.
Will Dwayne The Rock Johnson be on the 100th episode of Bro Chat? Yes. I've already talked to him. He's going to be. He's in. Would you rather live inside Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, or Avatar? I don't know, because I don't remember any of those movies.
Oh, you haven't seen.
I never even saw Lord of the Rings, so I don't even know.
Okay, well,
I've been meaning, Ben, just in my defense, Ben, I've been meaning to watch it because they have all of the what?
That's not a defense, is it?
Well, I'm just.
Well, I was going to.
Okay, it's not a defense.
I was going to bury the body and hide it from you, but I fucking didn't.
Okay, it's not a defense, but I have been meaning actually because I think I forget what streaming service it is that has like all of them.
Prime.
Is it Prime that has like from
Prime or Crave or one of them have all of them on them right now?
Yeah, I thought, you know what, I'm going to take like a few weeks and just fucking start from the beginning.
But the new Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. You got the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
You guys can answer this one. I
think in terms of worlds to live in, though, Lord of the Rings is probably the last of those 3.
Yeah.
Like you're living in basically like no electricity, no running water times. Like you don't want to live in that, you know?
Unless you have magic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Avatar and Star Wars is tough because I mean they're both pretty futuristic. I think I'd go Star Wars, Avatar, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Would you rather be deaf and blind or get your dick chopped off?
Shit. Probably actually kind of hard to answer.
It is a tough one.
I'm gonna fucking. I think. Oh shit! I can't.
Deaf and blind. If it was just one of them, like if it was like you're deaf but you're not blind, or you're blind but you're not deaf, then I'd probably take that. But
I think I might go without my dick.
Yeah.
Outside of fucking, there's like I'm very limited. I don't use my dick for anything else other than pissing and fucking.
What are you going to use your dick for?
Like that's.
But you use your.
I know, but it's just funny that you said that because like there's nothing else.
No, it's like
I use my dick to build a cabinet. Like, what do you?
You don't have as much utility as your eyes or ears.
Wait, hey, depends. Samson uses his to knock nails in, so that's different.
Yeah, I'm going without my dick, man. I can't not see and not hear. Fuck that.
No, fuck that.
Yeah, if I can like freeze some sperm before and then chop it off, I'm good. Yeah.
Because I could at least like with no dick, you could still at least please your wife.
Yeah.
You know.
You're so generous like that.
I'm just saying. What?
Yeah, sure.
I did this for you, honey. I did it for you.
It only took Fouad getting his dick chopped off for him to worry about pleasuring his wife.
Hey,
you know?
she always gets pleasured first. Please, I'm not James. We've already discussed this.
That's true.
James is the one that doesn't give a fuck. It's not me.
James is a brutal. James said he was going to beat the shit out of his wife the other day.
Did he? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He pulled into a parking lot. She parked in the wrong spot.
What's your worst date ever?
I don't have any.
I don't really have any.
I took a girl to Cuba the first time I met her. That was a bad idea.
That's a horrible idea. What were you thinking?
It was a film me in. I had a spare ticket, so I took her.
How long were you there for?
A week.
Oh my God. How fast did you learn? How early did you learn that it sucked?
On the flight.
Oh my God.
Hey, sorry, say this again. You did what?
He went with a girl to Cuba on like you just met.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was their first date. They went to Cuba for a week.
Yeah.
So you're on the flight. You learn it sucks. How does the week go? Do you hang out with her at all, or are you?
No. We just literally stayed in the room every morning. We fucked off. I went one way, she went the other.
Did you bang her at all?
I was gonna say, did you fuck her?
No.
So nothing.
No, like, literal cunt.
Not even once?
Sorry?
Not even once?
Literal cunt. Literal cunt.
How bad? How do you learn on a flight that she's that horrible? Did you fight about something?
No,
you remember?
Just no.
Loud and obnoxious.
No, just we just when you just two personalities. Like I would make a joke, like, and she would take it literally. She just wouldn't find anything I said funny or anything. And it was like from the get-go, it was just a bad fucking vibe.
What was the first conversation that led you to inviting her?
That's what I was just going to ask. How did that even happen?
It was that. It was that.
Hi, nice to meet you. You want to go to Cuba?
Yeah, I'm flying to Cuba tomorrow. You want to come?
That's such a Ben thing to do. I can totally see that.
You're such a flippant, like, yeah.
Well, see, with that, I went on my own. In hindsight, I'd have gone on my own, but I took a 50-50 shot and either being a fucking great week with a slot for a weekend.
It's pretty awesome if it had worked out, you know?
Yeah. That's too risky for me. I wouldn't do that.
No, never.
Look, it wasn't like I didn't buy the ticket for her. It was
you already had it.
We were broken up and the holiday was there, and I was like, shit, I can't cancel this thing. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Why don't you take a friend?
Outside of Luke, I didn't have any friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Found a hooker on the street and took her to Cuba.
Could have fucking left her there.
Worst pin experience.
Well, hang on. What about everyone else?
Worst date? I can't remember a worst date. I remember like I can't even tell mine. I had a bad like intimate night, but I don't remember a bad like first date.
What are you giggling about, Ian?
I don't know what he's doing.
I'm curious to know the story.
I want to hear your intimate failures. Please enlighten us.
No, I honestly can't think of like a bad date. I mean, I had a bad date, like, but mine was not like Ben's. Like, it's stupid. Like, I remember going out to dinner with a girl. I think we went for sushi or something like that. And I remember sitting down. I had like an anxiety attack, and we literally left before the fucking food got there. Like, we got the food. I had to take it to go, and we left. And the rest of the night was just shit. We ended up back at my place, and it was kind of like just the whole night was ruined because this girl didn't understand why I was fucked up.
Fouad's breathing in a paper bag.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those. So I'm like, that's the worst though. I don't remember like anything like anything horrific. Like
I've never really had any dates, to be honest.
No.
I guess you've been with Melissa for 10 plus years, yeah?
Well, he just one night standed everybody before Melissa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had Melissa. I had one other like girlfriend, and then between that, it was like no dates. You know.
Yeah.
Is my internet better?
Yeah, it is. Did you do something?
I just told my brother to log off the internet, and it seems to be working just fine.
Yeah, it's good now.
Good.
Your whole business is on hold just for this.
Yeah, I told all my employees, fucking wait, I got to do a podcast, and then we'll
do you have any bad experiences, Justin? Or do you don't remember any? You've had a lot. I don't know if I'm not going to say anything. Any bad dates?
I don't know. I can't really think of any dates.
Let's move on. Worst experience, worst pin experience, any infections? I've had like 2 or 3 infections.
Every time I got like an infection, it was a quad shot.
Really?
Quads fuck me up every time.
My shoulders.
I've had my whole fucking leg swell up all the way down to my kneecap and fucking be limping for a week.
You never had any infections, Ian?
I've had some good squirters, but I've never had an infection.
I don't even
still talking
really
about, are you talking about women or are you talking about shots?
Yeah, we've changed questions.
Both. No, shots.
Have you ever had a squirter?
A shot?
No.
Yes. You want to hear a good one? Actually, we were just at Melissa's parents.
Oh no!
How did you segue?
I don't want to hear
from that
about
to there?
that. I don't want to hear about Melissa's parents.
No, we're talking about shots, not the other kind of squirter.
Oh, okay.
So her parents just built a new home, like a brand new house. They just built it on a lot they already owned where their cottage was. They knocked down the cottage, built a new house. So his house is brand new. And when we were living in the US, they were living in our house while their house was built. So when we've been back to Canada, we went and visited their new house. And this house is like brand new. Like everything's perfect. I go at night. I go to bed way later than everybody. Everybody's already sleeping. I go up to the bathroom, like brush my teeth and do my shot before bed. And I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm doing the shot in my shoulder and I pull it out and it just starts spraying blood everywhere, like on the towels, on the floor, on the new white walls. I'm like, and it's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know? So I'm in there fucking using a whole goddamn roll of toilet paper, trying to fucking clean everything up. Oh, it was a mess, man.
Oh my God.
It was just like,
what'd you do about the towels? Did you tell them what happened or no?
No, I don't know. I took the towel and brought it in our bedroom and just kind of like
put it in your bag.
Yeah. I was gonna bring it with me. But yeah, it took a significant amount of cleanup.
What'd you do, Justin, when you had infection? You went just get penicillin or something, or
so
antibiotics?
I don't know if I've ever actually
Not
had
penicillin, sorry. Antibiotics.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually had an infection, but I've had my leg be fucking swollen and hot to the touch. And Jasmine's dad owns a veterinary clinic, so I would just go there and just get some doxycycline. It happened twice.
That's an antibiotic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an infection though. If it's red and hot to the touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I never went to a doctor and then was told I had an infection.
Yeah.
Well, there's like, I think you're thinking like an abscess would be the end point, right? But it's you have an infection first, and then it can turn into an abscess.
Exactly. So I was just able to nip it in the bud. But yeah, I don't fucking pin in my quad. I don't like it.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather be able to fly or not talk or read minds and not see? What?
Fly, but you can't speak, or what? And you can't see? Read minds, but you can't see.
Okay, you can fly and not talk, or you can read minds and not see.
I don't want to do either of those things.
I don't want to read minds. I don't want to read minds at all.
Yeah, I'm going to take fly and not talk.
Yeah.
You can't talk? Yeah, I guess you could write everything on a board.
If you're flying around, you
fly around with one of those chalkboards around your neck. And you can just.
If you're the only human on the earth that could fly, you'd be so fucking rich and famous, man. Like, you'd be good.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a shit about talking at that point.
Yeah.
Do you think you get laid all the time if you could fly?
Yes.
Fuck yeah, you would. Girls would want you to like fly and fuck them in the air while you're flying. You know?
That's true.
And then you wish I hadn't cut your dick off earlier.
I somehow knew.
That's good. That's good.
I somehow knew when I asked that question, you guys were gonna have a good answer for that. Weirdest things you craved on prep. Tomato sauce. I actually drank a fucking V8 once.
Oh, I've done that.
Because I was craving pasta sauce and it was the closest thing that somehow I didn't think it was cheating. And I drank a fucking.
You made it fit your macros.
Yeah.
I've had it where post show I went and bought like 4 or 5 V8s and just fucking chugged them.
Yeah. I don't know why. I have no idea why. So don't ask. But anybody else? Craziest thing you crave?
I usually crave the typical stuff. I usually just want like fucking Indian food or like a cheeseburger.
Indian food, really?
I crave Doritos the most.
I fucking always want Indian food.
I still want Indian food now, and I'm not even on prep.
I always crave pasta sauce and bread the most, more than anything.
It's like textures, like you would just kill to just have like a piece of toast with jam on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I crave stuff like crunchy stuff like chips.
Chips, yeah, fuck yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys have obviously been. I've been so hungry before. All I craved was just oatmeal. I just wanted a big fucking bowl. I just wanted to eat more of whatever I was eating.
I'm sure we've all been there.
Don't start with the bowl of oatmeal, Ben, please.
I didn't say a word.
I saw your face as soon as I said it. I was like, fuck.
You fucking
Yeah, but I left it alone. I smirked, but I left it alone. You got me some credit for that.
What should come first, more sleep or more food?
Someone asked me this on my Q&A. It must be the same guy. He said, "Can you compensate for less sleep with more food?" And I said, "No."
Oh, I'll say if you're eating 6,000 calories and getting 5 hours of sleep, or 3,000 calories and 8 hours of sleep, you'll probably grow more off the 6,000 and 5.
That's
Yes.
a good point.
That's true.
I guess it depends I guess it depends how
Not
much.
that sleep isn't fucking paramount. It's very important, but I'm not going to skip a meal to get.
What if I said this, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but what if I said, in the instance of bodybuilding, you're right, Justin, but the instance of health, I think it's the other way around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we eat way too much fucking food anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be healthier to not eat 6,000 calories every day.
Well, I just mean to sleep more, because sleeping a long duration is actually really
I
healthy.
mean, the optimal thing for health is to eat as little as possible and sleep as much as possible. So yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Ronnie, I think he used to say, like, he used to go to bed at like late at night and get up really early in the morning. And Ronnie, I mean, he's an alien though, so I don't know if that counts, but
That doesn't count.
yeah.
But still, I'm not going to shut down my night early and miss a meal to try to get an extra 45 minutes of sleep.
Me neither. Never.
But I'm not going to wake up in the middle of the night to have a meal like some people used to do. I know a lot of people did that.
If you missed it in the peak of your career, if you missed a meal,
If I missed a meal, but I know some people used to be like, well, I got to get in 7 meals or 8 meals, so I'm going to get up at 3 a.m. and have a meal. And I'm like,
I've never needed.
But I've certainly woken up at like 5 a.m. to go slam a shake and then go back to bed for 2 more hours.
on purpose.
We get the day.
It just made more sense for my schedule because my girlfriend at the time was getting up at 5, so I'd get up with she would wake me up. So
but that's a little bit different circumstance. I mean, there are people that would be like, I go to bed at midnight or 11, and I purposely get up at 3 a.m. for no other reason other than to have a meal and then go back to bed. You did that?
I had a short duration of my career when I would have my 6 meals and then I would just make a shake and leave it in the bathroom. So when I'd wake up in the middle of the night to piss, I would just drink the shake.
And did you notice that it helped you at all, or did it not matter?
Not enough that I cared to do it. No.
So I had to do that where I broke my sleep up. So instead of getting like 8 hours, I did 6 and then 2, because if I didn't start eating, I wasn't gonna get all the food in that the next daylight period.
So I guess in those two instances, it's a little different. Like Ian's saying he would get up to piss anyway. So if it's there, you just drink it, go back to bed.
Yeah.
That's not, and Ben, same thing. You're getting up with your girlfriend at the time, whatever. I guess I just wouldn't purposely set an alarm to wake up and interrupt my sleep.
Yeah, I've only actually done that. I did it once during a carb load for a show where I set an alarm so I could get some extra food in during that because I needed it. But that's the only time I set an alarm.
Again, that's a different circumstance.
Yeah, exactly. I look at that and I feel like whatever calories are in that shake, just like put that in each one of your 6 meals throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I just don't see the issue. I don't see why you couldn't put that amount of food.
Well, that's another thing with eating 6 or 7 meals. Like there was a long period of time where I made better gains in the off season from eating 5.
Yeah.
But I would just take that 6 meal and break it up. Yeah.
I've been eating 5 for the last like 2 months this off season.
Yeah. You find it's better that way? Better digestion and that?
Definitely. Because now I have like 3.5 hours between each meal and I'm able to eat larger meals and not feel fucking sluggish.
Yeah. I did that over the off season for a while too, under the advisement of Matt as well. Like I was eating 6 meals, and I just was having a really hard time getting them in.
I was always
just try making them 5 and just make them bigger and spread them out more and give your time more time to digest. I was like, all right, and it worked well. So
the biggest thing was I was just pounding this huge fucking pre-workout meal and then going to train and feeling
I never do that. I've always told people, and I don't know if you guys have agree or disagree, but I've always said to people, my smallest meal of the day is my pre-workout meal.
I understand the logic behind that, but
I just don't.
You're also doing intra work, like
I do intra workout. Yeah, I do intra work, and sometimes
if your intra's on point.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll even do pre-workout. Like if I'm in the off season trying to put on mass, I'll do a pre-workout CDX, like carb powder.
I prefer that. So I have to meet 90 minutes before, and then in their pre-workout, I would put most of their carbs, and then only a small amount. And even now, I'm moving to the point of just giving athletes water during their session, but I'm front loading them.
Like 90 minutes,
Justin.
As long as I have 90 minutes before my workout, as long as there's adequate time, it doesn't need to be a smaller meal.
So for me, I'm like for optimal, like ideal for me, because my stomach is like weird. It gets it's not I don't have a strong stomach. I get distressed real easily. So I would do, my smallest meal would either be 60 or 90 minutes before the gym. I would do 50 grams of carbs pre, 50 grams of intra, and then 75 to 100 grams post. And that's how I broke up my my workout nutrition as far as before and after. I just couldn't, anytime I had a big meal, I noticed it always affected my workout. My stomach just wouldn't handle it properly.
Especially if you're trying to train like legs or back or like,
Well, for sure, those,
you can eat a big meal and go train fucking arms. But I mean, other than that, it's getting tough, you know?
What's your setup, Ian? Are all your meals pretty equal, or do you have a smaller, bigger meals? Or are they all pretty even?
They're all pretty even. I mean, like my last meal or two probably have the least amount of carbs and maybe a little more fats, but other than that, they're pretty similar. You know? But
calorie wise, they're all pretty same size. Like they're not.
Meals 2, 3, 4 are almost the exact same. Meal 1 is a little more carbs in it, and then meals 5 and 6 are a little less carbs, a little more fats.
Yeah. Ben, what do you think as far as like your athletes? Are there meals pretty even throughout, or do you go hot, bigger, smaller, and all that?
Yeah, I like front loading meal 1. Even if they're training a little later in the day, I would always get things rolling early.
Yeah.
And then if they're in a prep, then I would strip those away. I try to leave meal 1.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ben. Just so for people that don't know, when you say front loading, you're saying you want most of their carbs, most of their calories all in meal 1.
Well, not even most, just like a more favorable carb meal in meal 1. So say they had like 50 grams of carbs in every meal. Meal 1 might have 70, for instance, right? And then during a prep, I would try to keep that meal 1 as high as I could for the longest time, but most of these pre and post, strip everything else away, and then meal 1 might start coming down with it to leave most of it around the training window.
Yeah, see,
what I would do is prioritize calories around the training window.
Let me ask you guys a question. So I talked to a coach recently that said it was fine for me to have my last meal be my biggest meal, because I generally, I don't know, like most people I know anyway, get hungry. I get hungriest at night before bed. So he's like, it's fine. Just put your biggest meal at the end of the day and everything will still work out.
So far, a diet phase.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to say prep because I'm not in prep, but just to say you're trying to lose a little bit of weight.
Sure.
So far, I feel like it's working for me. So I'm like, how do you guys feel about that? Is that, I mean, no one can say it's wrong or right, but how do you guys think what do you feel about that?
I'll say when I'm in a diet phase, when I'm nearing the end of a prep, the easiest time for me to not eat is in the morning. So I typically wake up, do cardio, have a couple
That's
cups
how
of
I am.
coffee,
Yeah.
I space it out to where I am eating most of my calories later on in the day. The last thing I want to do is like finish my food for the day and have 3 hours before I go to bed.
Yeah.
So I make sure I eat like right before bed.
I mean, that's just
right now, I will say if like off season, right now I have less food in the evening, I have a little more fats, but it's less carbs. I find that to be easier. That way I can wake up hungrier. If I have a larger meal right now, I wake up.
You're just talking in terms of an appetite issue, right?
I'm not talking in terms of performance. I'm talking about sticking. I'm talking about sustainability, right? Because like Justin said, I can wake up in the morning, do my cardio. I have a lot of work to do.
Yep.
I can honestly go till like 1 or 2 o'clock without.
Yeah, you're also like, if you're in prep, you're probably having the bulk of your stimulants earlier in the day, not like at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So I mean, things like that can sustain you a little longer. Yes, generally our appetites are not the best in the morning, I find, for bodybuilders.
Yeah.
They get better in the evening. But I do like Ben does, because I train after meal 2. So I have meal 1 being my absolute biggest.
Yeah.
Meal 2 being an average size meal, but not too big, so that I can at least digest it and still train. But I've still got a good amount of total calories in before I've trained.
The other thing too for me is I sleep better when I have a full stomach, not like gross binge full, but like I'm satisfied. You know what I mean?
Right now, I sleep better when I'm not overly full.
Yeah, because of
so
I'm glad you're saying that, because people need to know that we're prefacing it with, if you're in a bulking phase and you feel too gross and you've had
full, like I'm sweating at night. And
yeah.
So what's interesting, I think this might just be us because we're so used to just having food in our stomachs. But if you look at the literature, you sleep better with an empty stomach.
Yes, technically, yes.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I've heard that, Ben, but if I try to go to bed hungry, I'll probably fall asleep.
But I think we're too just used to having like being like for us, our version of hungry.
Right.
It's not real. Yeah.
The average 170-pound male can go to bed with an empty stomach and not necessarily be hungry.
Yeah. Because for me, like I can go to bed hungry, but I'll wake up like 3 hours later.
Yeah.
And I'm
But
like,
then also your metabolic turnover, your BMR is going to be way higher than a 170-pound guy too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's all relative.
the last question I want to ask about this, Iain, you said your second meal is average, then you go to the gym. Do you guys, all three of you, I don't like doing any heavy food. So I won't do ground beef or something like that before the gym. It's always chicken or fish or something, or whey, something that's going to digest easily.
Yeah, I do white meat or fish before I train with a jasmine rice.
So just something.
I personally don't mind it. Like I'll do ground beef before I train, but I do like to have some fats. If I'm going to do like white fish or chicken, I'll probably have like 15 grams of, oil.
I can do that. So, one of the things John taught me, and other people have messaged me about this, they'll eat just protein and carbs and they'll crash halfway through their workout.
Yeah, you need a bit of fat.
So I would always throw in like a tablespoon of coconut oil or olive oil onto my rice if I was eating chicken and rice, and it would sustain me through the workout. But I can't do ground beef because I feel like it's just, I don't know if it's the saturated fat or the digestibility of red meat itself.
Sure.
I feel like it wouldn't, especially on a leg or back day.
When I say ground beef, I'm not doing like an 85-15. Like I like
doing a lean cut. Yeah.
Like a 96.4 or even 93.7. So
Yeah.
I've been doing like the complete opposite to what I would have done back in my like competitive days.
Yeah.
So I do steak, eggs, and rice for breakfast.
Yeah.
But it's about 2 hours before I then have a pre-workout, which will be 50. I do the CD. I actually do 2 scoops of the intra R3.
Yeah.
I do 2 of that, and then I go train, and that's been like golden for me.
But I think I could do that if I had 2 hours. Like if I had 2
that's what I mean.
hours,
I'm not trying to line up a bunch of meals. So
yeah.
And I think another thing that people miss, like when we talk about intra-workout nutrition, I don't know about you guys, but I want that drink before I'm done with my warm-up.
That's why I said I have it.
Well, that's why I have 50. Yeah, that's why I put 50 grams of CDX.
I don't want to be training legs, drinking carbs halfway through my leg press set.
It makes it hard, especially for legs.
I agree on a. I don't mind, listen, and this is not a plug for our shit. You can do it with any carb powder.
Sure.
We only have 20 grams of carbs in our intra, and that's because of like leg days and back days. I don't want to have any stomach distress. It's
also the flavoring of it. Like it's a very subtle flavor that I can drink during training.
Yeah.
Plus it's too sweet and I can't drink it during training.
You know what? If I'm in a bulking phase, I have trouble drinking anything when I'm training legs, even water.
And that's really, I guess, the lens I'm looking at it through. In a diet phase, and of course.
Like when I'm dieting, I actually look forward to my intra.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like when I'm training, but when I'm in a bulk phase, I'm like, fuck, I have trouble even drinking water when I'm training legs or something like that.
Yeah. So I usually just tell my guys, like, I want this completed before like a fourth into your workout.
Yeah. But I'm kind of like Ben too. I always feel best when I do at least like a scoop of carb powder pre-workout. And then I feel like I'm kind of ready when I get there. Like
he's kind of doing that because he's starting it before the workout and then finishing it the time you're starting the workout.
Yeah.
I agree with
that. Nope. Love the show. Love all you guys' banter, insight, and jokes. But what's with all the men's physique hate? Oh, I want to address this actually.
Who's hating men's physique, guys?
So somebody said something to me in a comment section about, because I said, remember we were talking about the 212 guys getting to do the open.
We drew the comparison from like just comparing women's bodybuilding to bikini.
Yeah.
And I think that's people didn't like that.
In the Lunsford conversation.
Well, there's that big of a disparity.
And then you said something to me about Brandon Hendrickson getting to do the open if he wants to, and I said no, because it's not the same criteria. And somebody got really upset in the comment section. Obviously, this person thinks it's hate as well. It's not hate.
So wait, what was the person's argument?
I said men's physique is not bodybuilding, and they got mad and they're like, of course it's bodybuilding. Look at their bodies. Okay, when I say bodybuilding, there's two different things. There's the literal definition of bodybuilding, meaning you're building your muscles, and there's bodybuilding the competition. So when I say men's physique is not bodybuilding, I'm talking bodybuilding the competition.
Like men's open bodybuilding.
Yeah, like men's physique, their criteria is totally different. They don't judge half their bodies. They don't pose. Their facial looks matter. It's completely different than open bodybuilding, where they judge the entire body. They have mandatory posing. They could be as ugly as they fucking want. It doesn't matter. Like, it's a totally different thing. So there's no hate to men's physique. When we were having that conversation, I just don't think the men's physique guy should be able to do open because he hasn't proven himself in that criteria. So it's not.
I also don't think you should be able to jump multiple categories.
Meaning,
like, I think not that it goes this way, but
talking over.
I think you should go like men. I think physique should lead into classic. Classic should lead into open bodybuilding.
Well, and I think that's where people might have got angry because Iain originally said, should classic be able to go to the open? And I said, yes, because classic is still judged based on bodybuilding criteria most of it is based on bodybuilding criteria anyway. So
but would you let the men's physique guy cross into classic then on a special invite?
I don't think it's the same. I just don't listen. It's not hate. I think men's physique guys have amazing bodies.
I would be more okay with that transition than I would straight into the open.
You know what the simple answer for this is?
I think it's
special invites.
Yeah, that's
0. No special invites for anyone ever, and then this discussion is irrelevant.
No, wait a minute. I just think it's an interesting conversation. The only reason, Ben, I don't think that crosses is the criteria is totally different.
It's just a completely different division. It's different judging. It's different posing and presentation. It's just not the same thing.
Yeah, I agree completely. And the only reason I brought that up is that
well, I know you were just making a point. I
got a point saying like if you're going to use the credential of you are an Olympia champion, that qualifies you to compete. Well, then where do we draw the line in what an Olympia champion and the crossover relevance? You know,
my opinion is the line would be drawn at the criteria has to be the same.
What if one of the females wants to transition? Does she get a special invite into the men's open?
Go ahead. You're gonna get smoked. That's fine.
Well, what if a female bodybuilder wants?
We had this conversation. We had this conversation on the last podcast, and I said I don't agree with it. I said unless it's a category that has nothing to do with building muscle, like bikini, then no. A trans woman should not be able to do women's physique. She has an unfair advantage.
But what if a woman that's a natural woman wants to move over and do men's classic physique? Like a female IFBB pro woman wants to move into men's classic.
I personally think, and this is obviously like something that has to be well thought out, but in my knee-jerk reaction would be, in the interest of keeping everything fair and even and not blurring lines, everybody stays in their category.
That's the long answer for you saying fuck no.
What?
I said that was the long answer of you saying fuck no.
No, because originally I thought to myself, yeah, if she wants to compete she has no advantage, so go ahead. But then it starts to blur the lines for everybody. So I'm like, you know what? Everybody just stay in their category. And that's the easiest way to manage it.
Kyle versus Chris Bumstead.
That would be interesting. Do you think she'd win?
That'd be a good one.
Do you think she'd win?
It'd be close.
She's got a crazy physique.
Put up her prime. I want to see her prime.
Anyway, for men's physique guys out there, I literally have no men's physique hate. I think their fucking physiques are crazy. It's not the same criteria. That's all there is to it. So
I don't really like
if you what you say?
I don't really like the division. Yeah, fuck it.
Well, I mean,
we're also allowed to have that opinion. Like, Luke, let's just say you don't like it. Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
Luke thought the division was completely useless.
But he thought it was comparable to wheelchair bodybuilding.
I didn't want to go that far to say that.
But honestly, like,
I can see the similarities when you put it like that. To be honest.
Luke's actual words were, "We already have a class where they don't judge legs. We don't need another one." I thought it was a little harsh, but Luke was allowed to get away with a lot of things. So
fuck yeah. I do think
they shouldn't be personal against any. Sorry to interrupt. It's not anything personal against any men's physique competitors. I don't have.
You're talking about the category itself. It's not
category itself. I'm just not a fan.
You know? I do think that they shouldn't be allowed to weigh heavier than their classic counterparts.
Though. Yeah, we talked about that too. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I know what's another good point about that, Ben, is if you did want to funnel people, like let's say, because a lot of people start men's physique, then they go to classic, then they go to open, or maybe they stay in classic. I don't know. If you did want to create a system where it was beneficial to the person to go to classic, you would make those caps so that guys would be like, okay, well, I think I'm ready now. I'm going to go to classic.
Yeah,
And
I outgrew. Yeah, for sure.
that way it would be like a kind of a funnel system to get people to go into.
Yeah, because you got guys getting on stage at 20 pounds under their classic limit as amateurs.
Yeah, but then there's also, two sides of that. Like you think, okay, there's entry level guys that want to get in and they do men's physique because maybe they don't have legs and they get on stage and have the experience. But also, what's wrong with these guys just getting on stage in classic trunks and having small legs and knowing, hey, I need to bring my fucking legs up?
Well, the only reason I would not disagree, but the only reason I would, the only reason I would say it's beneficial to have the men's physique category is more so just to bring more people into the sport.
Bring more people in, yes.
Because guys would be less inclined to be scared to get on stage if they're like, well, I can wear a pair of shorts and do this, and
I can
it's
see that.
easier, right?
From like a promoter standpoint, like from the NPC level, most of the shows are jam packed full of.
Well, just from a grassroots standpoint of getting people into fitness, into bodybuilding, into right, you create that category. So, but if you put a weight limit, then people are like, oh, okay, well, I guess I got to go to classic now because I'm growing. So it's funny too, because I saw a guy just today that was a classic guy that I'm like, this guy would be a great bodybuilder. He actually looks like a bodybuilder. He got his pro card in classic, but because his weight limit, he's in classic. And I'm like, this is a perfect example of somebody who should be bodybuilding.
Sure.
And why not that open bodybuilding is not deep enough. I mean, we see it by the Olympia this year, but it could be even deeper if like some of these classic guys who not necessarily should be classic guys, but they're just making weight would keep going and going to the open,
So I don't know if this is on topic or not, but do you think they should standardize the time for when an athlete has to weigh into to pre-judging?
Yeah, this, especially at the Olympia level, this changes a lot, man. Like it's very difficult at the Olympia level.
Okay, explain what you mean.
So I've got
right now, when do they weigh in? Tell me that.
Well, for the Olympia, it's Iain, you go ahead.
Yeah, well, it depends. Like, because if you have a show, like say if you compete on Saturday but you weigh in on Thursday, versus if you weigh in like Friday afternoon and compete Saturday, it can make a big change in that your ability to carb up, do water, all these kind of things. Like for Chris, let's say if he was to compete Saturday morning and they had him not weigh in until Friday morning, you can't really even start eating or drinking until you weighed in. Versus if you weigh in on Thursday, it's very different.
So you have a more accurate weight of the person on stage if you do it Friday.
Yeah. So if you standardize that, like, hey, if the show is on, or not even doesn't matter what day the show's on, always 36 hours before, 48 hours before is the weigh-in. Boom. Yeah. You always have the same amount of time.
Because Dean, for the Arnold, Dean weighs in at 8 p.m. on Saturday night.
Oh, so Ben, you're saying at every show it's different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
And from my point of view, so if I'm a promoter and I'm like, okay, I want the athletes to look the best on stage, right? Because then I go, hey, look at this was my show.
Weigh in as far away from the show as possible.
Yeah, weigh them in earlier. They'll look better on stage. I promise you, they'll look better.
Okay, but that's from a promoter standpoint. But I'm like, if from a...
But then you also standardize the look, because say we compare, well, Chris doesn't do other shows, but, say Chris did the Olympia and he did the New York.
Some other show, yeah.
But they had different weigh-in times. One was the night before and the Olympia was 2 days before. He's going to get criticized for being flat for the New York Pro because it was only 1 day out versus. So you start standardizing the look that the athlete can bring, and they're going to be better and better and more consistent, and they can be compared.
Well, this is kind of stuff that also people have talked about with height too. It's like a guy should be heighted in, and his thing should be put on his pro card. So he's like this height. They don't have to height him in at every show.
Chris just talked about this on an MD interview, actually. Yeah.
Oh, did he? And then the same thing with the weight. Like if they should standardize, okay, they have to weigh in. Like these are things where like the IFBB could step in and say, no, we're doing it this way. Every promoter's got to do it this way.
Yeah, like Iain said, either 36 or 48, just to pick one and then lock it in, because like I'm only bringing this up because of the Arnold is this weekend, and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's like Saturday night. You know
who the athlete's rep is, right? You can just message Bob, send him an email, and Bob will talk to the higher ups, and then we'll get it done. And Bob will take credit for it.
Bing, bang, boom.
There we go. I didn't know that before.
Sorry, I had to throw it in there. Fuck, nobody freak out. What are the side effects you shouldn't ignore when running your first cycle? And did you have any at the time that you thought wasn't a biggie, but wish you had paid attention to it?
Don't ignore any side effects.
Yeah.
Well, there's some you can ignore.
Like what? Like a little aggression or something?
No,
maybe your lower back bumps. If you
I was gonna say, like, if your hair starts falling out, if you don't care, you can kind of ignore it.
Okay, sure.
All right. If your nipples are sore, probably don't ignore it. I think for me personally, I think if you're retaining a fuck ton of water and you just ignore it, it's probably a bad idea for your health.
I
You
agree.
should be checking your blood pressure.
So like for me, I wasn't checking blood pressure. I was taking orals. I was retaining a fucking ton of water.
Yeah.
And I thought I'm just getting huge. I don't care. And it made me stronger in the gym, but it was probably wreaking havoc on my physique, on my organs. So I think for the most part, you guys are right. Almost all side effects should be paid attention to some degree.
Even if your hair's falling out and you don't care, don't ignore it. Be aware of it.
Yeah.
You should
decide after whether to ignore it or not, but at least acknowledge it. Acknowledge them and decide.
Yeah. So there's nothing we can think of that you would ignore. Nothing.
No, because
I think he's saying
they're called side effects for a reason.
Well, wait a minute. Actually, he's saying if you ignored it, he's saying what side effects you shouldn't ignore. So we're saying all of them. You shouldn't ignore any of them. And he's saying, okay, so fine. I gave you guys one. Is there something that you guys ignored that you wish you hadn't?
No.
I will say, like in the beginning, I had pretty bad acne that came up on my shoulders, and I probably should have done blood work and assessed my other hormone levels to see what was going on. I did kind of ignore that in the beginning, and it just.
When did you guys start doing blood work? When was the first time you did blood work, Iain?
Probably 3 to 4 years into my bodybuilding.
Okay, so you were pretty cognizant of it like early.
Yeah, well, I started bodybuilding in 2010. I probably started doing blood work relatively consistently in 2014, right around when I turned pro. Yeah.
Did somebody tell you to do it, like a coach, or did you hear it online, or were you just aware that you're like, I should go check?
I think it might have been when I started working with Dennis James.
Okay. Ben?
When I was prepping, like the first season I hired him going into 2015 to my pro debut season, he had asked me to do it. And then once I did it once, I kind of like got in the routine of doing it.
Ben, what about you? How early did you do it?
Pretty early on in my bodybuilding, like maybe the first year, but it was more of the meatheady. I'll just get it done once a year after I've been off cycle for 10 weeks and everything looks great, just so that I'm happy,
So just to touch on that, so people know what you're talking about. We always advise getting your blood work done quarterly, whether you're on or off. That way you can see when it's at its worst and when it's at its best. Is that what you'd say, Ben, or is there better advice?
I like seeing it when it's fucking full tilt terrible as well.
All the time?
I want to see it. Like if someone can get it done a week or two before a show, I'm like, yeah, let me see where we're at. Let me see what we're dealing with here. Yeah.
16 of a fucking cycle. And then also let's just say you're a guy coming up and you run 20 weeks and you check on week 20, your blood work's good. That doesn't mean you keep going. Like, you got 20 weeks out of a cycle, shut her down.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I've done that. You're good now, don't keep going.
I had a kid that was like, hey, my blood work's good. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You've been on gear for 20 fucking weeks. We're shutting down.
I did that, Justin.
Yeah.
I remember because so for the bulk
don't wait for your blood work to be shit before you come off. So.
For the bulk of my career, I went all the way off for at least 6 weeks after each 16-week cycle, or 12 sometimes.
Yeah.
But there was a couple years in the middle somewhere, I can't remember what years, 34, maybe 35, where I didn't go off at all. I would kind of bridge and then go back up, bridge and go back up, and I would check blood work and I'd be like, well, blood work's not that bad.
When you say bridge, what are you talking about bridging? Like 500 makes
500. Yeah. 500. I probably keep my GH in.
I have bridged on 300 a couple of times, a fair few times actually.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Ben, back to so you went early. Who did somebody tell you to do it, or is it just because you were studying that and you want to go yourself?
Me?
Yeah. Did somebody tell you to go, or did you read it somewhere, or like did you just know from studying?
I don't know. I guess Luke and I were just getting it done. I don't know.
Did Luke go early too?
I mean, he was bodybuilding a little bit sooner than I was, so I don't know how often he could have done before. But when we started training together, we were going consistent. Well, relatively consistency, consistently.
Justin, when's the first time you went for blood work?
I ran my first cycle in 2019 for a contest prep, and at the end of the prep, I did my blood work.
I'm going to assume for you though, it's been talked about so much now that you just knew.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was kind of acutely aware of the landscape of bodybuilding. People had been discussing it.
I think starting bodybuilding in today's environment with social media, it's so much more advantageous with the information that's accessible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how many guys like DM us in a day or over the span of a week about things like this.
Yeah. Well, I brought up on the last podcast, I got into a little bit of a debate with somebody online about talking about steroids on the podcast and if it's bad or good. And they thought it was the worst thing in the world. And I was part of the problem. And I'm like, I kind of took offense to it because I feel like, look, I don't know if this is the biggest bodybuilding podcast, but one of, and 100,000 people watching each episode. And we talk about getting your blood work done. And we talk about not doing a lot of diuretics. And we talk about, you don't have to do massive amounts of insulin or I feel like there's so many things we talk about that are beneficial. And this is one of them. I feel like we've kind of led the way on people getting their blood pressure done, their blood work done. Like all these things are really important. So
Absolutely.
this is kind of part and parcel with that conversation. So
I think there's a huge benefit to the transparency that comes from all of us in this podcast. You have Iain, who's the 7th best in the world, explaining exactly what he's running in a week.
Yeah.
That's invaluable, especially for guys. Like we all know that there's kids at our gym that are 200 pounds that are running more gear than Iain.
I just had a guy message me. So listen, I did my blood work and my test was low again like 3 weeks ago. And my doctor was like, look, you got to start doing something.
Yeah.
So I started doing 250 a week and then I decided it's too much. So I'm going to split it. I'm going to cut it down to 125. But I just had a guy message me and go, man, I didn't realize you're just doing 125, like you're 260 pounds. And I told him, obviously the muscle I have is not going to go away right away.
Right.
But I said, yeah. I said, dude, he's like, I thought you guys were doing like 2 grams a week. And I'm like, dude, you're probably going to find somebody here or there that might be doing that.
Well, so to that point, there are plenty of pros out there that are running astronomical amounts of gear as well. Sure? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, there are plenty of coaches out there prescribing that as well.
No, wait a minute.
We're in our group here and we're all very aware and sensible with things. There is a fuck ton of, I'll get clients from other respected coaches. Hey, he put me on this. And I go, what?
100%.
I fucking send you 2 of them.
No, but I'm talking 2 grams a test. I don't know anybody doing 2 grams a test.
Man, well, that on a specific, that's a high end.
I'm just saying that one specifically. I'm not saying like guys.
But you might get guys doing like a gram a trend. It's
yeah. But I haven't talked. Listen, my circle's pretty small. Listen, I talk to mostly people on the podcast, and you guys are all great bodybuilders. So I'm like, this is just my perception of what bodybuilders are doing.
That's what I mean. We're not a fair representation of the whole industry at the professional level. I'm sorry. It's just
or even at the amateur level.
But in my defense, most of the top bodybuilders in the world are on this podcast or have been on my one-on-ones, and I've asked them generally like, where are you at? And either they're lying to me. I know you guys aren't lying to me. I'm talking about the one-on-ones. Most of them have not said anything that I've been like, well, that's
but there's thousands of bodybuilders out there, man. I mean, there's so many.
I know, but I'm talking about guys that are successful.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say this, those one-on-ones that keep being recorded, they're acutely aware they're being recorded as well.
Yeah. I guess,
Right.
like I said, my perception is skewed because I got you 3, then I got, the other 3 on the other podcast, and then a couple other guys. So I talked to like 10 of you. And most of us are all pretty sensible. And if we have done something stupid, we've said, oh, I was in my youth, I did something dumb for a year, i.e. me. But I just thought everybody was like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm the one who's mistaken.
I will say this though, the amateurs are more guilty of it, and because they're not as responsive. So you'll get a lot of these big guys like Iain and all like the top Olympians,
James, and
where they can get a ton out of what we would consider as amateurs a really low dose.
But that's less about the response and more about what they're doing in and out of the gym.
It might be both.
No. There's a huge genetic response component to it.
Yeah, there is. There absolutely is. I
was just going to say, would it be fair, Ben, and I'm sure somebody's going to be mad at me for saying this, but would it be fair to tell somebody, hey, if you got to do 1,000 milligrams of tren to get a response out of your body, maybe it's the wrong sport for you?
Yes,
sport. The more I'm in it, the longer I'm in it, you're either built for this or you're not. Like I sent Hunter a message back he sent me his blood work about 2 weeks ago, and I literally replied and was like, Jesus Christ, you're literally born to take steroids.
Yeah, his body's just
It's
clearing it all out.
It's
This is
ridiculous.
literally when I show people my blood work, that's what they say too. They're like,
Yeah.
how does this make sense? You've been doing this.
It doesn't
I don't know
correlate.
insane, but like it's like your body's literally made to do this. You know,
I would run like a 300 mgs of test, and it would look worse than Hunter's running a fucking 3-compound cycle.
I've had to explain that to some kids who come to me and show me their blood work. I'm just like, man, you just honestly, you have a very bad tolerance.
Well, because I think when people talk about hyper responders, they're only talking about how big their muscle gets related to how much juice they took. They don't talk about the other side of being a hyper responder, which is how fast their body can clear it and be healthy while taking it.
You know what's interesting too, and I don't know why bodybuilding is this way, but bodybuilding seems to be the only sport where there's kind of like this discussion of denial of genetics, kind of like when you talk about basketball or track and field, you know, like when you talk about someone being an elite sprinter, no one's like, if you're slow, it's not like, oh, because you don't take enough. It's like, you're just not a good sprinter. You just weren't born to do this. Or if you're a basketball player and you're not tall or you're not good at, like, you're just not born to do this. But in bodybuilding, it's like people think they can overcompensate with other things. It's like, sometimes you're just not made for this, you know?
Because the hardcore thing to say is
train harder.
I can outwork genetics, or I work harder than other people with better, like Branch used to say this, and God bless him, he obviously works harder than majority of people, but
Branch is still a genetic fucking anomaly.
And I think that's what people, and I think people forget that when they're talking about, well, Dorian didn't have good genetics. I'm like, wait a minute. You're talking about the thickest motherfucker. No, but Ben, you've heard people say that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
like, even Dorian has said it. And I think when Dorian says it, Dorian means it in terms of the way his physique looked in comparison to like a flex wheeler.
But that's like saying that the only people that are good are like, you know, that have good genetics are the flex wheelers or the Ronnie Colemans or the Usain Bolts.
No.
Wait, or that the guys that are coming 8th in the at the Olympic 100-meter final that had to train a little harder to be a little slower are not genetic freaks. Like, no matter how much I train or any of us train to be good at something that we're not good at is not going to make you a world level person at it. We could be taking all the drugs in the world, training with the best elite sprint coaches every day, and none of us will ever be top 8 in the world sprinters, ever, no matter what, ever, you know?
But I'll say this, you'll get to the level of competition that's your ceiling, and then you can start splitting hairs on who worked harder.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think in bodybuilding, it's direct relation to work ethic, which is wrong. Because I know Cedric, I used to say this to Cedric all the time. I'm like, dude, you're fucking born this way. And he would get mad at me because he's like, no, I work hard. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Discredit to that.
The two things are not related.
No.
You still work hard, but you're still built like you made for this. So, but I think that's where people get upset because I think they take it like, oh, it's genetics. What do you think? I'm not training hard. I'm not working hard.
Well, guy says he's got bad genetics. I'm like, you won 6 to 12 pro shows. Like,
but you know what the funny thing is? The fact is, and I'm sure people are going to get butthurt by me saying this, the fact is they don't work as hard. And I'm sorry, but like Phil Heath probably doesn't have to do the same thing the guy who's 15th has to do. This guy was built with perfect proportions. He was built, he's to grow like when he looks at a fucking weight. Like, yes, he worked hard. Yes, he got all his meals in. Yes, he fucking trained his ass off. But somebody else could have done the same thing Phil Heath did and not get the same response.
Yeah.
We can all watch Ronnie Coleman train now and say that is less than optimal training. 100%.
Yeah.
You know, that is absolutely not the most optimal way to train from a tension and response like way, but he did it and he is still the greatest bodybuilder to ever walk this earth, you know?
It's like, have you ever seen a guy who can eat shitty food and still be shredded?
Yeah. Like the Michael Watkins of the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that means that guy technically in bodybuilding speech is not working as hard as the guy who can't eat a crumb without gaining a pound.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but your genetics do assist you.
Yeah.
And you should just be fucking happy about it.
But that's what I'm saying. Why is this not in any other sport into the same capacity that is in bodybuilding?
Like if I was
why would not track and field is like, if I train harder, I can beat Usain. It's like, no one says that.
Yeah.
I really think it's the element of PEDs. I think that there's too many people that have this notion that we are only where we are because
we have better drugs or
no, but like
more drugs or
No, but wait a minute. Can you explain? I don't want to. Can you explain to me why like Cedric would be mad if I said this is your genetic, like you were born like this.
Because he feels that you're taking away the hard work. You're not taking away the hard work. You're saying you do work hard, but you have the genetics to match it.
So you guys, we looked at that picture of me the other day where it was the 2-year transformation that rear left side. I looked like dog shit on the left. 2 years later, I looked okay. But there's a lot of people that could have done exactly what I did across those 2 years and not have that response.
Yeah.
The majority,
same drugs, same training, same efforts,
absolutely everything. Yeah,
but I guess Ian's kind of right. Like, why wouldn't Ronnie Coleman or Phil Heath or Dorian Yates say, you know what? I do have fucking great genetics.
Yeah.
And I maximize them by busting my ass.
Yeah.
Because I think there's that I don't say ego in a negative way, but it's their ego that doesn't want to.
You don't want to feel like you're taken away from them.
They don't want anything taken away.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't in any other thing. Like, even if you said to Usain Bolt, like, you are just born to be the best sprinter on the planet, he's not going to be like, but I worked hard too. He's like, fucking right I am. I am the best of all time, and I was born that way, you know?
Yeah.
I am just better than you. I always will be, and that's just how it is. Deal with it, you know?
Ian will never have my cats. It'll never happen.
Exactly. Literally. I'll never have them, no matter what.
Yeah. Keep trying, dude.
Yeah.
I was born this way.
Keep trying.
I will keep trying.
But to circle back to that point, I think that's why a lot of amateurs end up on crazy cycles, and then they make the assumption that Ian is lying because he's 270 peeled to the bone and they're 180 soft and taking a gram of test and a gram of tren.
That's the easy answer.
Okay. Question. Thoughts on Regan deciding against doing the Olympia this year? Should more bodybuilders do this if they know they will not be competitive in the lineup?
I think it's a great decision. I stand by it 100%.
Yeah.
I have the opposite opinion, guys. I'm sorry. Just because,
and
I have the opposite opinion based on my own career looking back. So you guys are seeing it from a competitive standpoint.
But he's already done a couple of Olympias. So it's not like this is like his first Olympia. And it's like, take it, have fun with it, you know?
It'd have been his third Olympia in a row. And at this point, he doesn't want to just make up the numbers.
Look, I'm gonna say this completely honestly. I do not think Regan will be in the top 15 at this Olympia if he competed how he is now. Yeah. He will not place. So what is the point at that point? At that point, take that time, you know, do a good off season, take the time of unbroken time of not doing diets and preps in between. And maybe then you'll be at a little more advantage that you've had that continuous cycle of growth.
So I already, like I said,
I'll say this as well. Yeah. His physique is nowhere near maxed out.
No, I know. Not even so close. I already prefaced it with I'm looking back, right? So obviously the competitive bodybuilder in me sees it the same way you do. The sentimental side of me looking back at my own career wishes I would have done every single Olympia. And I also think to myself, when someone like Sean Ray, and I know it's a bad example because he was top 5 every year, but when someone like Sean Ray said I did 13 fucking Olympias, that's a big fucking deal. Whether you were 10th or 8th or 15th, if you did 13 Olympias.
Hypothetical question. You could do 5 Olympias in a row, or you could do 3, skip a year and win the next year.
Well, that's a big, I mean, yes, you're right, Ben, but that's a huge hypothetical for Regan.
Yes, an extreme. I gave you the extreme version of it.
You're right, and that's
top 8, even be top 8. You know?
You're right. And like I said, competitively, you guys are 100% right. I would hate to see a guy finish his career out and be like, yeah, I should have done that one.
But he's already done 2 Olympias. He didn't place super well in either of them.
Yeah.
You know, he knows
an Olympia in classic as well.
And classic Olympia. So 3 Olympias, done 3 Olympias.
2 open Olympias and a classic.
What's it going to take for fucking Regan, man? What is it that he needs?
A year off. It was
muscle.
A year off.
Muscle.
Is it because his frame is that big?
Yes, on his quads, on his chest, on his upper shelf. Dude, yes, his back is one of the best there is, but he just needs to fill in the rest of that big frame, you know?
Yeah.
But he's a big fucking dude.
Yeah, he's like a Juan Morel sized guy that's competing in the 250s. Like he needs to be 275, you know?
I don't think people realize how big Regan is because he's so symmetrical that when you see him online, he doesn't look massive. Dude, but in person, he's got a really big frame.
He's about this much taller than me when I'm stood.
Well, it's not just his height, too. It's like he's got really wide shoulders. He's a very
Regan needs to be competing at 270 plus, like Kuklo, you know?
Yeah. I'd love to buy the crew a drink at the Olympia after the expo. Cool. Justin's up for that. He's always up for a drink.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll let you buy me a drink. I don't know about this guy. Fuck him.
Why? He's not gonna. He's gonna roof you.
Okay, who is this guy? Let's see him.
He's an avid follower. He's Jay Vella.
Okay, well, tell him to
Jay Vella Fitness. We're gonna have a drink after the Olympia.
Yeah, tell him to bring something by the booth, and we'll.
Yeah, a sealed bottle though.
Yeah, seal
Yeah.
muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Best poser currently in the men's open. Samson.
Samson, yeah.
Guy doing men's physique at the
Doesn't count. Move on.
Yeah.
If Ronnie Coleman doesn't exist, is Jay the GOAT? That's a good
No,
question.
Phil is the GOAT in my opinion.
Yeah.
Jay's the
Phil's
GOAT,
the GOAT.
for sure. Jay is
Well, GOAT
potential.
for what?
Well, that's the thing. When I say GOAT, okay, you're right. If we're talking strictly who's the best bodybuilder,
Yeah.
Phil.
yes, Phil is for
Because
sure.
even if we're talking about everything, then Jay is ahead of Ronnie.
Yeah, if you're talking most influential, done the most for the sport, all these kind of things, Jay is up there with Ronnie. I don't know if he's past him. I think Ronnie is still an icon in the buddies and all this stuff of, how much people know him and how much he's brought to the sport just by his persona. But I mean, Jay is certainly up there. But when you're talking physiques, I mean, Phil is right up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's it. If you would sponsor a coach, who would it be? Not counting Ben. Nobody else. I'm good.
Me, I'm a 3-time Olympia winning coach.
You've already had an offer you turned down.
Yeah,
you get no
but
more offers.
Ian, you're like the vegan in the room that brags about it all the time and no one wants to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
Your go-to sneakers in or out of the gym. Don't get started on this. Fuck. Chucks.
Yeah.
You guys are all Jordans. I'm Chucks.
That's the Jets, bro.
To be honest, I'll train in like my Metcons more than I'll train in my Jordans.
I train barefoot the most.
Yeah.
Big Crocs.
Even on arm day, I'll get to the gym and I'll just take my shoes off.
Ben, you training Crocs?
If they're by the door and I can't be bothered and I've got no socks on, I'll put the Crocs on.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
he's training on his own property.
I
Yeah,
think
man.
Guy has been training Crocs. He's squatting like 4 plates in Crocs.
I know.
I wouldn't squat in them. That's
You know
just
how terrible that would feel with how squishy those Crocs are?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said it's comfortable.
Yeah. Look, if I'm doing legs, I'm either barefoot or I'm in Converse. Yeah.
That's
Well,
like
look at
trying to
this.
squat standing on your bed,
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
current
yeah.
top five. Your current top 5 at the O. Can be
Oh,
in,
top 5.
can be in no order. Can be in no order, since there is still some time to it.
I'm saying the current top 5.
I don't know about that anymore. I've been thinking about it. I have a feeling.
Are we doing this again?
I have a
Oh,
feeling.
no,
William,
yeah,
I have a feeling. William
Fouad's got
Bonac.
me in the top 5 now.
Feeling
Yeah.
William Bonac. No, I think.
Don't even fucking start with me. Are you fucking for real right
Come
now?
on, dude.
Man,
Don't do it. I'm begging you. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ruin another fucking day here.
after all of that, and you're now coming around?
We're on a
I'm
fucking roll
thinking
right now.
William might be in the top 5. Maybe
No
Yeah,
shit.
I agree.
Samson might be in the top 5.
I agree.
Andrew Jack might be in the top 5. It's gonna
I
be real-
agree.
Derek Lunsford could be in the top 5.
Man, you guys are pushing me out of the fucking top
Ian
10.
could be in the top 5.
There's now like 8 in the top 5.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So many questions. Who's your guys, Mr.O, dark horse? We know Samson.
Samson.
Samson is the guy.
I
in
think
my
he's the guy
opinion,
who has the least credentials, probably going into the Olympia with the highest upside of upsetting the top 8.
Samson
Oh, yeah.
has the most potential.
Yeah.
To shock everybody. Out of
Conditioning
anybody doing it.
is going to be the absolute
Because if you
determining
name
factor for him, though.
if you named any other bodybuilder going in, people have a general idea where they're going to be, except if Michael Crizzo gets an invite, then that might be another dark horse.
Well, he won't get an invite. He'll qualify, but yeah.
Well,
Or sorry, not invite. I meant qualify.
Because he qualifies like you should. You
But
know?
actually, I still think Samson's a dark horse because people are expecting Crizzo to do something, and people are expecting Samson to be there now, but still, it's still not the same.
No, Samson is still unproven at the Olympia level like that, so he is definitely the dark horse. Yeah.
Yeah. Injectable aminos, L-carnitine, etc. Is that worth it? I don't think so. What do you guys think? How can you tell if your gear is real or fake?
Response.
Response.
Send it off, it's expensive to
What was
test
your
it.
first car?
Dodge SX 2.0.
Don't even know what that is.
I don't want to say it's a Dodge Neon because it's not. Okay.
It's totally a neon.
Oh, it's
No,
and
it didn't say Neon anywhere on the car. It was an SX 2.0.
It's a neon though.
It's totally
No.
a neon.
It's just a fucking. Were those super or turbocharged?
This one
This
wasn't.
is Ian's first car.
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
Justin, what was your first car?
I had a GMC Jimmy.
I
A
can see that.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know what a Jimmy is.
Oh, I know. No,
It's
Jimmy.
like a blazer. It's like a blazer.
What
but
year was it?
Is that one on the right? The 96. That's exactly what it
Yeah,
was.
be just
This
like the
one.
right green.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2 kicker 12s in the back. The thing fucking slumped.
Look at this thing. That's fucking sweet.
Mhm.
This is fucking sweet too. I'd buy that.
78, yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Not that I would make it look different than this, but I like the body. Ben, what was yours?
I had a Seat Ibiza.
A what?
right seat. SEAT. Ibiza. No, SEAT.
Yeah, this is so Euro.
Ibiza. No, well, why are you spelling Ibiza like that?
It's with a Z, bro. Yeah.
Because that's how you
Showing
say it.
results. That's it, though. I think
I had the FR. Wait, I had the FR. My dad I was a spoiled little kid, so I got an FR, which is the quick version.
This one?
That's the newer version, but
What
I like it.
year was it?
I don't know. Hang on. I was 17, so
This one?
Yeah, it'd be like that.
yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Like that. Yeah. Actually, no, the one on the right. Go on the far right.
This one?
No, the far right.
Oh, far right. This one.
No, don't worry.
This one.
There and then right.
Yes,
yeah.
that one. That's exactly what I had.
That's so Euro.
Yeah, it is.
Pocket rocket.
I can see you getting out of that with your dangly earrings and your fingernails painted. And
You had a Stellar?
This is my first car. Look at this. Look at this fucking thing.
Was this your dad's that he like gave you?
No, my dad. I had a friend, so I needed a car. We have no money growing up. My friend's dad had this sitting on his lawn, and he wanted to get rid of it. And my friend was like, "Hey, you can have it." And it just needs like this, and that. So we bought it. I bought it for $1 because you had to buy it for something.
Yeah.
And then I had to fix the transmission, and then it ran. And I actually drove it for like 2 fucking years until it died.
this looks like a young Arab's man's car.
100%. 100% it does.
It was rear wheel drive though. I used to fuck shit up in that car.
Fuck
All
yeah.
right. All right. We'll do. Oh, it's only 2:30. We got a few more guys. Do you prefer a pool or a hot tub? Pool.
Cool.
If I'm gonna own one at my house, I'm gonna buy a hot tub.
I have both. I definitely use the pool more.
Even living in Canada?
Yeah.
I feel like the pool season in Canada is so limited. Like if you're in Florida, then for
I
sure
think it's
you
the
can
way.
make a pool,
You know
obviously.
what? I think it's the way my hot tub is set up because the way the wind comes in when it's cold out, it's like it blows the snow right over the hot tub, and I'm like, this is not
Like
worth
in
it.
Florida, obviously you just want a pool and not a hot tub. But in Canada, like in Ottawa, I barely would use a pool.
Well, yeah, in the wintertime, I'm obviously not using a pool.
It is very climate dependent.
I think I'm going to enclose my hot tub this year so I can use it all year round. Or
It's
more
nice
so
to
in the winter.
it's nice to get like the snow or rain on you when you're in a hot tub, though.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It depends how it's really windy in my backyard because we're on a man-made lake. It's like a tunnel.
Well, you could put like a wood fence retaining wall on one side of it just to block the wind, but I would keep it open sky, you know?
Yeah. I called about my house in Texas and they told me I need a social security number.
Yeah. That's not that.
I got one of those. I got hit by so many realtors. The same one, the woman that's helping you messaged me.
Heather?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said fine. And then she hooked me up with her mortgage lender.
Mhm.
And then she called me. She's like, you need a social security number, blah, blah. It needs to be your primary residence. She said you need 3 to 5% down. I was like, that's cool, no problem.
When you say you called about your house in Texas, do you have an actual house you're looking
No. I called about a house. I called about a house in Texas.
Sure. Okay.
So I got to get my social security number and visa first, she said.
Well, you need the visa to be able to get a social, and then you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a social, but I don't have the green card. So I can
See, I can get a social. Like Chris has a social.
Yeah.
But I need the visa too, she said.
Well, you can't get the social without a visa.
Yeah. Okay.
So like we got visas, and then off the visa, you can go to the social office and get a social.
Okay.
And get like Chris has a Florida driver's license and a social because he has a visa.
Yeah. I got to get on that process.
Yeah.
What was your favorite stuffed animal as a kid? I didn't have any.
I had a teddy bear that I like had from a baby till I was like 12.
That doesn't surprise me.
Dude, I had one I gave to a girlfriend when I was 21. I wish I hadn't.
What was it?
It was a
Teddy bear?
little blue teddy bear. Yeah. It still hurts me now. I'm still pissed about it.
Justin?
I never had it.
I didn't either. What's wrong with these guys?
You fucking pussies.
Weirdos.
Hey,
Let's
do you
see.
guys? I asked this question on another podcast and I got roasted for it. Well, Nick didn't roast me. He's just Justin or Guy and Jose. Do you guys Instacart? Well, you Instacart. I've seen you Instacart. Do you guys use Ian and Ben? Do you guys use Instacart? Well, Ben, you can't because you live in the boonies.
When I'm in Florida, we literally order everything off Instacart.
That's all I do.
I order everything. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Dude, I ordered
Go ahead.
electric razors to my apartment. Like
I
where I'm leaving for a flight, and I'm like when I went to Van, I'm like, fuck, I don't have a beard trimmer. Like I couldn't find the charger for my beard trimmer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to trim my beard before the show, so I ordered an Instacart a beard trimmer.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, so I'm not fucking because they're like, you're so fucking lazy. You're so. I'm like, listen, man, I want to stand in
like a
line.
new comforter the other day, and I ordered it on Instacart.
You knew what?
Like a new comforter for my bed. Like a new bed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so is it just 'cause-
I don't want to fucking walk through goddamn Walmart and go pick out a fucking blanket or something.
so is it just because they're old, or do we just waste money?
Both.
Okay, I think if they did it, then they wouldn't talk shit.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like it's easy to say that until you just like get on your phone.
Do you have Instacart where you live in Canada?
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you, Justin? Do you cut your grass, or does somebody come cut your grass?
No, I pay a guy.
Ben,
We go.
Don't do shit.
Ian.
I cut my own grass.
See, I gotta hang out with you guys more. Those motherfuckers are like, you're so lazy, don't cut your grass. Then fucking guys like, if you got on my fucking riding lawnmower and cut the grass, you'd be so happy. I'm like, why? It's not your right.
I do not have fucking time to cut my own grass.
That's what I'm like, dude. I've seen your property. It would be out there for 2 fucking
It's not
hours.
for everybody. I mean, look, some guys just enjoy that. Like I have buddies that have bigger properties and they just like to do that shit. My property is a decent size, but like I can cut it with a push mower in front and back in maybe 40 minutes. 30
That's like
minutes.
me too. Yeah. Yeah.
So like I don't mind doing it. If it's a nice day out, I'll go fucking rip it and like whatever, you know.
So
It's not-
we're looking at another house, right? And I said I do not want it over 2 acres is my max.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fucking look after it.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I don't.
It's a lot of work, man. I grew up on a property that was like 24 acres. And like to maintain that, especially in like Canadian winter with the snow blowing of it and the lawn mowing, like my dad would have like entire days cutting lawn there, you know?
Yeah. Well, the snow blowing too is a bitch.
My farm property is like almost 16 acres. And
Yeah.
I'll spend full days with my tractor and brush hog.
Yep.
So I think Juji, you guys know Juji Mufu, obviously.
Of course.
Juji said it best. We were talking on circles about it, and he said that time is money, and if I can save my time to do things I want, then I'm gonna fucking spend the money on Instacart or the gardener or whatever the fuck it is.
So
that I can spend my time doing what I like.
let's just say I pay the guy $50 to mow my lawn. And it takes him 2 hours. It's $25 an hour. Me personally, I feel like my time's worth more than that. I would pay $25 an hour to just have that time to do whatever the fuck I want or whatever I need.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about shopping. If
I'd pay that money just to sit and watch Netflix for 2 hours.
Fuck yeah. I'll pay the $18 in charges to not have to walk.
'Cause that's probably what we're all doing. So let's be serious.
Yeah.
At night, after 8 o'clock.
I'm at work right now, guys.
When's the next casting couch person come in?
Today at 2.
What's she look like? Is it a guy or a girl?
Not great. It's a girl.
Don't assume. Don't assume.
Is she Mexican?
Yes. Like that. I like the language barrier.
When deciding to hire a coach and pursuing bodybuilding, how does one begin to use gear? Does the coach help? Does the coach help provide the source, or is it on the athlete to find their own? Coaches do not help with any of that shit. They help.
So you're just assuming, you're saying then coaches are drug dealers in the same hand.
Yeah.
You're a coach, you are also my drug dealer. Thank you.
Which member of the podcast needs the most cuddling and why?
Ben.
No, ask my wife. I'm not a tactile person.
Ben is not the cuddling guy.
Oh, you're the kissing guy.
I'm a pretty cuddly guy.
I'm a cuddly guy.
If I'm sat there and we're watching film and she starts like stroking or rubbing my arm or something, I'm like, I'm not the fucking cat. Get off of me.
Yeah.
Fucking hate it.
If you're
Well, if she starts rubbing my shoulder, I'm leaned into it because I'm like, I might get laid here.
Yeah,
that's different.
That's
No,
usually a sign that I'm gonna get my dick
Oh,
sucked.
Fouad, why do you have such a distinct wrist tan?
oh, that's my gloves. from my,
Oh,
my motorcycle gloves.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been riding.
Every day. Every day. I can't stop.
Life behind bars, baby.
What'd you say?
Life behind bars.
That's right. Okay. So do you lay with Justin? Do you lay with your wife to watch a movie or lay on her lap or cuddle or anything?
Yeah, I'll lay down and put my head in her lap for sure. I like that.
Ian?
100%. Yeah, for sure.
I don't.
If Denise has been good that day, she gets a cuddle.
First of all, she probably wants to lay on my lap. Second of all, she's probably gonna want a massage. And I'm like, I just want to watch a movie, man. I don't want to massage you right now.
Well, recently, like we have a TV mount in our bedroom as well. So like Melissa goes to bed quite a bit earlier than me.
Yeah.
So when she goes to bed, I'll like come into bed with her and like lay, and she'll like, get the pillow and she'll get in the nook and we'll like lay and watch
Yeah, for sure.
until she's like out cold, and then I'll shut the TV off and I'll leave and I'll go finish my meals.
How romantic. How often do you massage? What are you laughing at, Ben?
You're so romantic.
Well, he's like putting his wife to bed every night. He's got to like, it's like,
Oh,
he's
no,
like
I thought you were being ironic because he's like, yeah, then I shut it off and go eat my meals.
I am being ironic. No, I was actually being like, he's got to put his wife to like tuck her in every night. I think that's sweet. She can hear me right now. She's probably telling me to fuck off.
She's just like, she's shaking her head. She's like, I fucking hate you all.
How often does your wives ask you for massages?
Every night.
Does she really?
Yeah. Will you rub on me? No, I don't want to fucking. I don't say it in my head. I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking
That's
rub
too
on
needy.
me.
I'm like nonstop, like with that shit. I'm like, can I just not? For what? Can you massage me? I'm the one who works out.
Not that often. I mean, like if we sit on the couch maybe and she's like laying on the couch and I sit near her feet, she might like put her feet there and be like, and I don't mind. I'll fucking fuck around with them for 2 minutes and that's kind of it,
Justin,
I never really get a request for it.
what'd you say?
But like,
Wait,
I said I never really get a request for it. But like Ian says, if we're on the couch, feet are there, I'll rub on her feet a little bit.
do you just do everything Ian does?
Yeah.
Yep.
You see? Just there.
Usually just like massage her boobs or have her massage.
Pretty much the whole podcast, Justin has just echoed anything Ian has said.
Yep.
Your
That's how I do- that's how I do that.
your bromance is getting out of hand.
That's
man.
my credo, my creed. Is
All right.
So wait, when your wife asks you for a massage, do you say yes or no?
Well, listen, I'm not gonna say no to her all the time, but if it's if I did it the night before, I'm like, I don't feel like it tonight.
Do you ever ask for a massage?
this doesn't give good massages.
It's like
That looks like it'd be good though.
Yeah, I kind of.
yeah, you gotta digging. Yeah. Sorry,
Do
go
you
ahead,
ever
Ian.
do you ever ask for massages?
No, because I feel bad.
See, I do. I'll ask as well though. We keep it pretty 50-50,
I feel bad asking. I don't want anybody to have to do anything for me. I feel like if she's gonna do it, she'll do it on her own.
Wait, I said that and Melissa said that's a joke. You think you massage me more than I massage you?
You ask me all the time.
Oh, I ask more.
I never
Look at
ask.
this needy
Sure.
motherfucker.
Wait, I ask more, but I
You
massage
ask
you without being asked.
Yes, but
Yes.
every time we're sitting, you're like, rub me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ian's the cuddler.
Wow.
Justin, you came with me. You
See,
came.
but I do
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Does that hurt your feelings, Justin? To know that your idol is the guy that's the needy one?
Well, it hurts my feelings that he's not receiving more massages. I want him.
Thank you. See, but this is the thing. I'm giving her massages uninitiated. I gotta ask
Right.
her.
See, why
Yeah,
can't we? Why can't we?
You.
No.
Yes.
Come on, Melissa.
Melissa, you should do that without him having to ask.
Right?
Justin can do it without you having to ask.
But he's so far away. You gotta be here instead.
Maybe he needs to move to Oregon.
Yeah, move forward.
I don't get that shit without asking either, man. But I generally don't ask because I honestly I don't know if it's because of the way I was fucking raised or something, but I feel bad when people do shit for me.
I don't like it.
I don't mind.
Even if I'm getting like taken care of, if it takes too long, I start to feel bad.
Oh, when's that ever the issue?
What do you mean?
I've just been getting a blowjob for 20 minutes. I feel like those wrap up pretty.
No, man. Sometimes it's like I'm like, it's gotta hurt. Like I'm like, maybe I should tell her to stop. I honestly start to feel bad.
Yeah, I get that, sure.
Yeah, be like deep in a contest prep and things just aren't firing the way they usually.
No, there's even in the off season sometimes it's just not,
Yeah.
sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not. And you're like, nah, I feel bad.
Things usually come to fruition pretty quickly for me, so I don't really have
You don't have that problem ever.
That's never really been a problem.
Ben, do you ever show mercy in that department? Or do you just not care?
Oh no, honey, just
wait,
sucking my dick. I'm over it. I think that's insulting though.
No, it's not insulting. You feel bad. Like, listen, if it's 10 minutes in, like, you got to imagine that's not fucking, you got a can of corn down there. It's not great.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? A can of corn?
Short and fat.
That's Fouad's piece.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought this was some like innuendo for not being able to bust a nut.
No, it's just it's a description. It's a description. It's a description.
Oh, yeah.
So Ben, you never like helped her tap out? Like you did just say, look,
yeah, no, I have. If it's not happening, I'll be like, yeah, that's not. I said you're gonna be down there forever.
Justin doesn't care. He's like, just stay there. Don't worry about it.
Go on, I'll get there. Just
Just a little faster.
We got all night. Keep going.
Okay. Okay. Who had the best one-liner in any gym videos? Ronnie,
for sure.
would you consider someone who lives the bodybuilding lifestyle, diets, trains, tracks food, a bodybuilder if they have no intention to compete?
No,
you consider them living the bodybuilding lifestyle, but a bodybuilder. If somebody asks me the context, 1 second before you get mad, Ben. If somebody asks me, it depends on the context. If somebody said, what do you do for a living? And I say, I'm a bodybuilder, then that means you compete and get paid for it.
yes.
If somebody says, what do you do for a hobby? And I say bodybuilding, then that's different.
I think you can be a bodybuilder, but if you compete, you're a competitive bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder, yeah.
But you can be
if you play football with your buddies on the weekend versus if you play in the NFL, are you still both football players?
No, that's why I said, if like somebody said, what's your hobby or what's your passion? Like,
Yeah,
well, I'm passionate about bodybuilding.
Yeah, like my buddies that play golf, they would call themselves golfers.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think it depends on the context though. Like you would never imply that you're a bodybuilder if it was in context of work.
No, I think I agree with Ben in the context here in that it's you're a bodybuilder or you're a competitive bodybuilder.
Yeah, that's the way I've always kind of put it. But
like you're a runner, if you just run for exercise and you run because you like it and do the local half marathon, you're still a runner. But if you run in races for monetary gain, you're a competitive runner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you always have to draw that distinction then.
Yes.
Okay. Favorite board game of all time?
Monopoly.
Oh, the doctor one.
Really?
Operation.
I don't remember what it's called.
Operation.
Man,
I haven't played a board game in 20 years. Leave me alone.
That's not a board game.
Well, it's kind of a board game. It's on a board. It's a game.
Yeah, it's not really.
No.
Did you ever play Mousetrap when you were young?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I used to love that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
actually used to. That's like my first memory of having anxiety.
Yeah.
Like
I used to have a Star Wars Monopoly that I like to play a lot.
1 second.
I think Monopoly is the GOAT when it comes to board
Yeah.
games.
This thing?
Mousetrap.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
It's got a cage that comes down at the end.
Is this Hungry Hippo? No.
That one on the left there.
Yeah,
This
far
one?
left. Yeah, that's it.
What the fuck is so scary about this? What happens?
The red basket. The red basket comes down and traps you.
Yeah.
I've never played this.
Terrifying. It's intense.
1 second.
It's not a board game.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah, but go to all.
Fuck you. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
Classic
electronic board game.
Oh, so it's like bodybuilder and competitive bodybuilder. I have to specify.
Draw the distinction.
Electronic board game.
Stupid board game. Regular.
Yeah. I mean, Operation's pretty good though.
Is it worth it to try and turn pro as a natural athlete?
The whole worth it thing. I was
It's
like,
only worth it to you. It's what's worth it to you.
yeah, and if you're capable of going and turning pro, and that's something that you desire to do, then go for it.
Is it
Fuck
worth
it.
it?
Just be aware that you will probably not be competitive in the pro ranks for remaining natural.
Well, unless you compete in a natural pro league.
Sure, no, but I'm
Right?
talking in the
Yeah. No, but I'm
Also-
assuming that's what he means. Like, is it worth it to try and turn pro as a natural athlete, compete in a natural league? And I think,
Sure.
and I'm just assuming all of this, but I'm assuming he means like monetarily.
You're probably not going to make any money, but I mean, give her. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're probably not going to make supplement contract money
Yeah,
or
the
prize
word-
money.
The wording "worth it" is confusing there.
Yeah.
Worth
I-
it makes sense.
Yeah. Because I don't know if he means worth it to him as a person or worth it financially or worth it like.
I'd say this: if it's from just a personal thing of if it's worth it, if you're going to do it in the IFBB, people will be impressed with it for about 2 minutes and then they won't give a shit. Like people are like, oh, cool, move on. So if you're looking for outward like applause, then that's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I wonder if that's I wonder if that's kind of the same.
Nobody really cares about the natty, or no one really gives a shit for natty.
This might be a cynical view, but I wonder if that's really the how it is throughout your whole career anyways. I mean, like, how long does anybody care about your achievement? After fucking in bodybuilding, it seems like after 6 months, no one gives a fuck what you did.
Well, it depends whether you're the greatest of all time on. That's why people are trying to win the Olympia, because that matters.
Yeah, I'm talking about anything less than that though. Like if you won the New York Pro, right? Like let's say Blessing won the New York Pro. 6 months later, does anybody care?
No.
I mean, within a peer group, yeah. Like I think we would acknowledge
Well, we acknowledge, yeah. But I mean,
we would be aware. Yeah, we would be aware of it. But
yeah. But I'm talking fan base, right? And I'm not trying to argue or anything. I'm not trying to be argumentative. I noticed in bodybuilding, fans are really fickle. Like
I don't even think
you could do something. You could do something great, and then let's say for a long time, and then you do something bad, and now that's who you are.
This is not exclusive to bodybuilding. Trust me.
Yeah,
it's not.
No, absolutely not.
I think it is. If you look at like music, right? Bands can put out like 3 great albums.
Music is not the same as competitive athletics. You can't compare music. Compare all. What about competitive sports?
Okay, what about like a quarterback? If he has like 1 bad game or 2 bad games, they don't throw
a lot of fans. A lot of fans will fucking chuck him to the curb immediately.
Think so?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I just wasn't that kind of fan. So
it's also different because you compete in bodybuilding like 1 to 2 shows a year. You don't play 30 games.
But the hardcore.
Okay, then take fighting. Then fighting, they fight like 3 times a year.
Yeah, but the hardcore fans wouldn't kick them out.
When Conor McGregor started losing, people tossed him to the side as a good fighter right away.
Not right away.
A lot did. The average fan, but the people within the sport, like I've been saying, did not.
There's like 2 levels, right? There's the hardcore fan and then there's the broader fan.
Yeah, but going back to your point, if somebody turns pro, like let's say somebody wins the Canadian Nationals, within the sport, the hardcore fans are like, yeah, that guy won the Canadian Nationals. Good for him. Right? But the outside fans don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, you turned pro. Great. Yeah. So I'm saying same thing. Like in another sport, I'm just saying, I think in bodybuilding it's worse, but Ian's saying in all sports is the same. I don't know if it is.
I think it's all same within the context of each sport. I think, a player has a bad game or they have some kind of, personal thing going on or whatever, people will throw them to the side, the casual fan, just as much as they will in bodybuilding.
Yeah, maybe. If you could repeat one day in your life forever, what day would you choose and what would you like the day to be if it hasn't happened yet?
That's too hard of a question.
Man, what's the best day of your entire life?
I
can't remember what I did yesterday. I can't remember. I'm
gonna say the one I want to be will be when Denise and I actually have our wedding, because we haven't had a wedding where the 2 families have come together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and at that point we'll have Phoenix. Whereas if we'd ever had a wedding before that, he wouldn't have been there. So for me, being sentimental and mushy, I get to have a wedding with my son there as well.
Yeah. Would it be bad if I said my wedding day wasn't my favorite day of my life?
No,
not to us, but if you were recording it to 100,000 people and saying it out loud.
A lot of the times weddings aren't for the bride and groom.
That's why I said it. It's just a busy day and shit.
Yeah, a wedding is for the guests, not for the people in it.
I got married completely by myself, just my wife and I, in
You got married by
Hawaii.
yourself. Is there
Yeah, I
somebody
just
else there?
married myself. No,
Yeah, but that's all-
it was just Jasmine and myself on the beach, and it was fucking amazing. It was awesome.
That's
It
cool.
wasn't about the guests. It wasn't about anybody but us.
Yeah,
And
I like that.
It was awesome.
That's romantic.
That day was great because there was no stress leading up. And then after we got married, we just fucking bailed and went and had dinner, and
That's what I'm saying. Because most of the
stress
time,
on the guests were doing. I didn't give a fuck. It was
that's what I'm saying. Most of the time, the wedding is the fucking bride's getting ready for 5 fucking hours.
Yeah.
And then you have to like do photos and you have to do all this shit. So like the really great part is for like that, 4 hours at the ceremony, right? Where you're, or
Right.
not at the ceremony, at the after, you're eating and you're partying,
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like, that's not my favorite whole day. That might be my favorite moment, but like I've had better days as a whole.
yeah.
So,
All right, just shit on my idea then. Fuck you.
no, no, because you have your son there and shit's different. That's a totally different thing.
And I, my
Not
parents,
that I wouldn't have enjoyed having family and friends there, but the way it went, I was happy we did it that way because I didn't have to. I was able to kind of just be myself and be open, and like I fucking cried and had fun. It was a cool moment. And
Yeah.
definitely. I definitely appreciate the way it went.
Where did you guys? So is that like your honeymoon too? Because you're already gone away somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. We spent like 10 days in Maui.
We have yet to
can
go.
you imagine if she was like, yeah, well, hang on, this doesn't count as the honeymoon. This is just I want
the condo we're in, where it's like $1,000 a night.
Were you? So Ben, you haven't got married, so you have no honeymoon. Ian, where did you guys go on your honeymoon? Did you go on one yet?
Yeah, where did we go?
That's a non-developed.
Oh yeah, we just went to. Yeah, we didn't really have one, I guess. No.
Wait,
I didn't
am
really have
married.
one either.
I am married.
I mean, you didn't do a wedding, so
I'm
that's
not
why.
wedding. Yeah.
But did you do any kind of like vacation or like
No,
getaway?
no. We just did the formal paperwork marriage.
Yeah.
We didn't have a wedding.
I haven't done like a real honeymoon, and we've been married for 10 years, and I feel shit about our 10-year anniversary is coming up, and I feel like I want to take her somewhere for like
Somewhere, dude. Get the fuck out.
4 or 5 days.
Mhm.
We don't have a lot of time because of work, but I figured it'd be like a 4-day trip somewhere.
Is that your 10-year wedding anniversary or 10-year total anniversary?
10-year wedding anniversary.
I think if you're
How
going
long have you
somewhere.
guys been together in total?
16 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd be together that long. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's been a lifetime.
It's been a long time.
I mean, there is millions of people in the world that have been living for 16 years or less. So yes.
This is a broken man.
No, can I tell you something that's really nice though? Summer all of a sudden got this fucking urge to go to the gym. And I don't know if maybe because she saw you and Donnie's training together, but she's been coming to the gym with me. And I'm like, this is fucking really
Awesome.
nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's actually really fucking cool now. We go to the gym together and she trains with us and fucking,
Just
yeah.
trying to do Paul.
She trains with me and Paul. Yeah.
Right on.
Sometimes she'll train beside us because we're not
Sure.
change plates a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, yes, Paul's gone right now to New York for some shit with his cousin. So
Cool.
it's just me and her training. I actually like really enjoying it.
Good,
Yeah,
right?
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I
like the days that I'm able to go like with Jasmine to the gym, and sometimes we train, sometimes we don't. But
how's Jasmine doing right now? Her show's coming up soon, no?
yeah, she's like 2 weeks out. Yeah, she looks great.
She's how many weeks out?
Like 2.5.
Is she excited?
Yeah, she's pumped. She's
How's she been with the prep, being at home with you?
She's a fucking soldier. She hasn't complained a bit. I know she hasn't cheated fucking at all. She's
I was only around her for the one.
She's so much better. She's so much better at this than I am. I mean, honestly.
She seems so much better than you.
Yeah, I'm such a.
Because I was only around her for the one weekend or whatever in Orlando, but she seems like her shit's on point. Like she doesn't.
Yeah. I got that vibe too.
Yeah, she's very even keel, very steady, solid.
Is someone coaching her or no? Are you coaching her?
I am. Yeah.
Is somebody helping her with her posing or no?
Yeah. So she what is it? KJ Center Stage.
Center Stage. Yeah.
Christina and Joey out of Dragon's Lair.
That's cool. So 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks.
Was her goal just to do the one show, or is it like?
Yeah, we're just gonna do one show and then shut it down.
Does she want to see how she does, or she just literally, no matter how she does, she just wants to do one?
I think she's gonna like smoke this show. It's a local show. I think she's gonna win the award.
She's gonna destroy everybody. Yeah.
No, I know, but that's my point. Like some people want to do one to see how they do, and then some people are like, I just want to do one, period.
Yeah, to be honest, she was in June. We like initially started dieting down to do like her CrossFit competition, and then she pulled out of the CrossFit competition. She didn't really want to do CrossFit anymore. Then we kind of fed back up, and then she just wanted to maybe diet down and get lean for her birthday. And then she's like, "Fuck, I think I'm gonna do a show."
That's
then-
cool.
Have you thought about doing the amateur Olympia with her or nationals
We're talking about doing nationals next year.
next
Oh,
year?
she's
I
not
think
doing
she
one show
take
and
a
shutting down
couple.
this.
Yeah, no, she wants to keep going. She's really enjoying it.
Meaning this year, just one show and show.
Yeah.
Just one show, shut it down, and then like off season. I mean, because she's just been training like she's just been doing CrossFit.
Are you going to be mad if she starts doing better?
I know the question. If she makes it to the Olympia before me,
If she, you're going to be upset.
that's exactly what Ben
If she
said.
takes the spotlight.
I actually he called me the other day, and I asked him. I said, "You're going to be pissed if she makes it to the Olympia for you."
Well, both Melissa and Chris made it to the Olympia before me.
What's the answer, Justin? I want to know the truth.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be pissed, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
It's like for sure I'd be pissed.
I'll make sure it doesn't. No, I mean honestly, I think Jasmine's like really talented and built very well for this.
I agree.
She looks really good.
She's fucking awesome.
Besides, I don't know if we should answer these. Besides your wife or girlfriend, 3 hottest women ever, alive or dead. Ian's looking at Melissa.
She's like, I didn't hear it. Yeah, you did. Oh, he said alive or dead, 3 hottest women aside from your wife. Dua Lipa.
Who?
That
I
singer.
think we have a lineup.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything like stored. I don't know.
I think Charlize Theron is up there for me.
I can see you liking that. You're that snobby kind of guy.
She's South African.
I always think of this when I see some women. I'm like, that's for sure the one. And then I forget when these questions come up.
Yeah.
Oh, let's move on.
I'm the only one that's not going to get in shit. You got to cut that out.
No, okay, fine. We'll all name one. Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe, huh?
What?
Yeah. Got thick waist, or thick hips.
I mean, or you could at least pick the girl who's playing Marilyn Monroe in the movie. That
Margot.
Miss, she's hot.
No, I got one.
Marilyn Monroe's going to have a thick bush as well.
Who's
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we already know whoever I said. Yeah. Big Bush.
No. No,
I feel reserved in all my replies, knowing that Ian's wife is sitting right there.
why are you
don't worry.
scared? Why are you scared?
I keep going to say shit. I'm like, I don't want to
Say it. Don't be a pussy.
No, nothing at this
Say it all in
point.
front of Melissa.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say the girl in Wolf of Wall Street. Who's that?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, that's my.
That's what I was gonna say was Margot Robbie.
Good choice.
All right, can we go now, Ben?
Yeah, we could.
Ian never gave one.
Yeah, I did. I was the first one to give one. I
What
threw it
did
out
you-
right away.
What did you say?
I said Dua Lipa.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who the fuck it is.
How do you spell it?
I'd say actually that's a lie. I do know who it is. I just have no idea what she looks like.
How do you spell it, Ian?
Just go to Instagram.
I'm on Google. Okay, fine. I'm on Instagram. How do you spell it?
DUA
DUA
LIPA.
LIPA. Dua Lipa. Okay, let's all take a look together.
Is she hot?
I just like her voice too.
Dua Lipa. No way, dude.
That's not the most flattering photo,
That's
but
a bad picture.
Google
What?
probably would have been the move.
Okay, here's that. How's that?
Yeah.
Ian, I'm sorry, dude. I don't
No,
see
that's a good looking woman, man.
Oh, the dark hair and nice thick eyebrows. It's good.
I'm all about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good looking one. She looks young, but
Oh, I don't know. I don't
she's
see it.
at 14. Oh, not there, she doesn't.
No, she's a fox for sure.
Yeah, that's a.
Keep going down.
Yeah, no, move on now.
You know the how there. Yeah, she looks really pretty there.
I mean, she's pretty, but I'm not saying like the best in the world.
I mean, you pick Marilyn Monroe, you
Yes.
can't see shit.
What are you talking about?
Marilyn Monroe is not hot, bro.
My dad would have picked Marilyn Monroe.
Your dad's a smart man. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. Are you crazy?
Nah.
No.
Nah. What?
You know what? Do you know the girl that's playing her in the movie?
No. Are you guys? Wait a minute. Before we move on, are you guys nuts?
No, she's good for that time period. She's obviously very beautiful.
Yeah.
If we have every generation going.
Wait
she's
a
not
minute.
in it.
For this time period, look at that face.
I'm not about it.
Really?
Look, she's clearly very pretty, but I'm not about it now.
Huh.
I don't know bronze either.
This is who's you type in the search.
Just
A and
type
A.
in actress.
Sorry?
ANA. There. The second one down. This is the girl playing her in the movie.
Oh, that's good. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
this girl.
Better.
What movie is she from?
She's in a lot of movies.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah,
She's in James Bond, yeah.
that might be my first pick.
She's very pretty. And she's like Brazilian or Colombian or something. She's got a good accent.
I just changed my first pick.
Well, because your first pick sucked, so yeah.
No, I did not. This does not suck, dude. Are you crazy?
Well, just go back to the search and type in Anna de Armas as Marilyn Monroe. She's playing in the movie. You can see what she looks like as her. There, first one.
Oh, wait, yeah. Ah, for fuck's sakes.
God, you suck.
Just add to it. There, far right. No, go back. There, top right. That's her. Yeah.
This is better than this. Sorry, guys.
No,
This is far better than this.
I can't see. You guys are covering it. So
What do you mean we're covering it?
no, like all you guys are. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I mean, we're all covering. What are you talking about? Aren't we on the side and you see his screen, full screen?
Yeah, you guys are on the sidebar and he's over there, so I couldn't see.
Okay. Seriously? You guys think this is better than this?
I do, yeah.
Ben?
And also because I know Anna de Armas normally is better looking than Marilyn.
In this photo, yes. I agree.
A normal Anna over a Marilyn Monroe version, yeah.
Yeah.
Never. All right. Well, now I know you guys have bad taste at least.
It's all right. My dad likes Marilyn Monroe too.
What?
My dad likes Marilyn Monroe as well.
Your dad's a fucking classy man. That's why.
Yeah. He's blind in one eye.
You guys like little girls. I like women. This is different.
Yeah. He likes women with their bush and all.
Yeah.
On top only, not in the bottom area.
No, like butthole bush.
No whole bush.
No, you want
anywhere.
it nice and organic. You want that whole area filled in.
Whole crotch.
Not with that beard. Not with that beard. There's
All right, we'll do one more and then we'll go. Thoughts on
What's this bump on my forehead?
Is it a zit?
growth hormone.
No.
Growth hormone?
Yeah. Doing your growth sub Q right here.
I gotta lay off the Botox. I got some kind of bump here, you know? Look at that.
What is that?
I don't know.
That's the last bit of fat left on Ian's body.
Look at my lines are back. I need to.
We need to go for Botox again, man.
Yeah, dude.
I just need to get them more here. Like this is bad.
Yeah, the light's really shining in on this side of my face, making me look old.
My forehead's getting pretty smooth, but my this needs to get more.
Ben, do you do Botox?
No.
You just have a fat face.
I don't have many lines on my face, really. I don't
That's
think.
what I'm saying. You carry enough fat in your face that you don't have no lines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How far would each member of the podcast get on Who Wants to Be a Million? What? No. Nope. Let's finish with a rate your physique.
Okay.
Okay. Last one, and then we'll go. Darag Mac. Yep, that's him. Okay. Share screen. Go. This is Darag Mac. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So
I don't think that's how you would say it in Irish.
No,
like
I don't think so either. It's probably Darag.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, he is 6 foot, 26 years old, 100 kilograms. So he's like 220.
220. Yeah.
Competing in novice and lightweight tail end of 2023.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess we'll start here. Front pose.
I mean, doesn't look bad. He's obviously like needs to grow overall, but I mean, it's a solid physique.
He's even everywhere. That's for sure.
It kind of looks like everything's there. Just needs to be bigger.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to be on point from a conditioning standpoint.
Conditioning's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Back looks pretty good from there. Let me see more back shots. Is there any more back shots? Or is he oh, there's one down there.
But these are like,
I mean, everything's pretty even, like you said.
but I mean, he doesn't even look close to the same level of muscularity. I think these are, these are clients.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, that's
I
a
thought,
client
it,
too.
I thought it looked the same guy with less hair.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wait.
that's the same guy, dude. This is the same guy.
that one is, but the second one wasn't.
No, this one are the same guy.
No, I know, but the next one you clicked wasn't. Yeah,
Oh, this one down here.
no,
Yeah.
that is someone different.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, so this is him too with yellow hair.
Yeah, click that one. There's a swipe through there. Oh, there you go.
Is he wearing Don't pull your trunks up, man, if you're not in shape.
No, always do it. I always do. Just show those cheeks, bro. Cheeked up at all times.
Fuck off. All right, I think we've kind of seen enough, no?
Yeah, no, he looks good. He looks a lot better leaner for sure.
Yeah, it does.
You see a lot more like shape and muscularity to him when he's leaner. That's for sure.
Ben, what do you think?
Repeat what everyone else just said. He just needs time. Everything's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay, he just needs to grow.
Well balanced.
I think his chest needs a little more.
But overall, nothing's really lagging.
I
for
think
him.
everything is fucking bad. I mean, if anything, I think his back could have.
that could be brought.
He's 6 foot. He's 6 foot as well. So that's a tall
Yeah.
thing. Now.
Yeah.
He's time.
All right, Derek Mac.
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, on an amateur scale, 1 to 10, I'm going to give him like a 7-1.
I'm in that ballpark too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's there. It's all there. He just needs like another 20 pounds or 10
Yeah.
pounds, whatever his cutoff is.
Yeah.
Is this bodybuilding or classic?
Growing exactly the way
Oh, he's working with Kuba too. I just said there in the picture.
This picture? Oh, yeah.
Kuba is reverse engineer, blah, blah, blah.
All right. Okay, boys.
Sweet.
Good one today.
we didn't even fight today.
Me and Ian didn't argue at all.
Oh,
Never argue. What are you talking about?
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you boys.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.